This is your home for the Cardinals. Eudora Sports Live.
Van Dong in motion. The give is to Moody. Moody ducks down and dives in. He's standing over the ball. He's going to take it quickly. Looking across the field, and he's got it! It's Jude Whalen. And now Addy Hephill puts it away for the Cards. They'll take a 2-set lead. Hendrickson in motion, give to Duncan. Duncan, and he trucks the safety. Is he in?
It's time for the Cardinals on your home for Eudora High School Athletics. Eudora Sports Live.
All right, hello everybody and welcome in here as your Cardinals take the field here in District Stadium, Eudora District Stadium. It is the second to last home game for the Cardinals. It's homecoming here, so a lot of familiar faces around. Lots of people here. There were festivities. I even saw some people tailgating pregame here. This is a big festivity here. This is a big moment in the Cardinals season as they come in riding high on a 4-game win streak, and they look to try and push it to 5 for the first time since 2015. This is our pregame show brought to us by Fort Scott Community College. You belong at Fort Scott Community College, from nursing to farm and ranch management, John Deere Tech to theater, and so much more, plus championship caliber athletic programs. Learn more at fortscott.edu. I'm Reed McAvoy. I will be with you here tonight alongside Hayden Harves, and I will throw it over to Hayden for a little bit of analysis here on our pregame show.
Yeah, we got a really fun one coming in here. You and I traveled all the way down to Independence, Kansas last year for that game. That was
basically Oklahoma. It
is Oklahoma. It is, if I recall, about 10 miles north of the border, but you are all the way down there. It was a long ways for us to travel, but it was a phenomenal stadium. The environment was just incredible. It was a really fun place to be. That game was almost a year ago exactly to the day, 364 days to be exact. So this was also the Week 6 matchup last year. The Cardinals won that matchup 42-6. So they did extremely well in that matchup last season. They come in today, as you said, trying to push their win streak out to 5. The Independence Bulldogs certainly looking like maybe a bit stronger of a team this year than they were at that time last year, with 2 wins this year, coming in at 2-3 as their total record. But the Cards, as you said, have looked like an absolute force the last couple of weeks. Really excited for this one as the Cards look to even more so solidify themselves as one of the top teams in Kansas 4A.
Yeah, I'm interested to talk about that a bit and inform the viewer about this Bulldogs team. They are 100% better than they were last year. Last year, they went winless over the full season. This year, they've already won 2 of their first 5. And it's interesting looking at the combined record of the 2 teams they've beat is 1-9, okay? So not great. However, these are 2 teams that they beat that they lost to last year. It's Field Kinley and Columbus. And the one that stands out to me, Field Kinley last year beat the Bulldogs 42-0. This year, the Bulldogs beat them 38-0. So this Bulldogs team is better. There's no question about it. They have improved. They are a better team. And I'm intrigued to see how this matchup goes. I think the Cardinals are still a strong favorite, especially at home. They're coming off a 42-6 win last year. Not coming off, that was last year. They're coming off a 35-7 win over Lewisburg. Meanwhile, these Bulldogs come off a close-fought 27-20 loss against Chanute. So this should be a good matchup. This is a better Bulldogs team than the Cards faced last year, and it's also a homecoming atmosphere, so it is going to be a good time here on Eudora Sports Live. We're going to go to a break here from our pregame show, but keep it here for a little more analysis, and then opening kickoff.
Are you looking for a trusted partner in pet care? Look no further than Eudora Animal Hospital, proudly serving Eudora and the surrounding area since 1975. Eudora Animal Hospital offers a wide range of services, including wellness exams, surgeries, routine vaccinations, and emergency care.
I just want to thank everybody in the community for trusting us with the care of their animals, and go Dogs!
Schedule an appointment by calling 785-542-3265 or visit eudoravet.com.
More time before you wake up in the wild.
Our natural world needs us now. Step by step, side by side, together, we can find a way to ensure that all life on Earth can thrive. To learn more about how you can help protect and conserve nature, visit nature.org.
Your home for live local sports. Varsity Sports Live delivers professional level coverage with high-quality video and broadcasters that know your schools and community.
Touchdown, Tonganoxie!
With the support of local businesses, you never pay to watch varsity sports. Live, local, free high school sports coverage. That's Varsity Sports Live.
Grass gets it away. Moore's down the middle. And he makes the catch in the end zone. Touchdown, Trojans!
Keep up with the action at varsitysportslive.com. Live, local, free high school sports.
Charlie was born at LMH. We had a great team of nurses. Not only did they check in on us regularly, they always asked if we had questions, always made sure that we understood what was going on. I cannot say enough wonderful things about the labor and delivery, family birthing, and mother baby care team at LMH Health. We had to put our entire trust into their hands, and just everyone was so friendly and so supportive.
At Fort Scott Community College, we understand that a scary part of figuring out your future isn't only answering the question, what should I do, but where do I belong? Maybe you belong here as part of Fort Scott Community College's John Deere Tech program. Maybe you belong here as part of the perennial playoff-bound Greyhound baseball team. I don't know where you've been or where you're headed, but I know we're saving a spot for you because you belong at Fort Scott Community College.
All right, back here on our Fort Scott Community College pregame show as they're about to do the coin toss there at midfield. Can tell you that Cy Thomas and Bryce Mulvihill are back for this game, and Cy Thomas is back at the starting QB position. Houston Carnegie's done a good job holding down the fort, but they are going to go back to the more athletic Cy Thomas at QB, and we'll see what he looks like running the ball. He's had his arm in a sling the last few weeks, so we'll see what that looks like with him out there. This is the first non-district game for the Cardinals since week 1 when they took on Hayden Catholic. Since then, they've had 4 Frontier League games, won all 4, which has put them to 4-1 on the year and given them a nice lead within the Frontier League. And now they've got a game against an independent opponent, Independence fittingly. And yeah, you want to talk about the Frontier League standings here a little bit, Hayden?
Yeah, coming into tonight, the Cards are 4-0 within the Frontier League. As you said, that only loss this year coming in Hayden Catholic in week 1. And then just behind them following close, Tonganoxie Chieftains and the Spring Hill Broncos both come in at 3-1 within the Frontier League. So it's certainly competitive. The Cards' advantage is not a big one, but they are sitting so low at the top of the heap in the Frontier League. And of course, tonight won't do anything for those standings, but with a little bit of fortune, if Tonganoxie or Spring Hill drop a game, which neither one has easy matchups tonight, they can certainly push that gap out even more. But they look extremely strong within the Frontier League this year, Reed.
And I know you're not supposed to talk about them, but it's fun to talk about the win streak for the Cards. I looked back to find times that they've done what they've done before. So they're on a 4-game win streak. They did that twice in the 2022 season, actually. But to find the last time that they've won 5 in a row, which is what would happen if they are to win tonight, it would be the first time they've done that since 2015, which was a part of an 8-game win streak that included 2 playoff victories in a season where they actually started 0-3 and then won 8 consecutive games, going deep into the playoffs before eventually dropping to Bishop Miege. But it looks like we are about to get our opening kickoff here, which will be brought to us by Wolf Diagnostic and Automotive. Since 2005, Wolf Diagnostic and Automotive has been keeping Eudora moving. You can find them at 208 East Street. From tune-ups to major repairs, they service all makes and models with honesty and care. Call 785-542-5152 today, and Wolf Diagnostic will get you back on the road quickly. So you can see the Cardinals are kicking off here. It will be Moody with that signature hoodie sticking out of his jersey. It's going to become much more useful as the season goes on. It's starting to get a little bit chilly out. Tonight, though, it is pretty nice weather. It is 74 degrees right now. But in the upcoming weeks, I imagine it'll be a lot chillier. So the star running back will kick this one off deep for Eudora. It will be fielded at the 5 by the Bulldogs. Coming near and then going back across and wrapped up inside the 20. The return man there was Kellen Lanning, the senior receiver and defensive back, and he could only go as far as the 17-yard line. So the Bulldogs start in our trademarked dread zone.
And Reed, we were talking about it pre-kickoff. Almost wanted to mention it. Seeing as the Cards deferred and kicked off there, we actually saw that clash in the last couple of weeks in that Ottawa game where we learned that head coach Drew Steffen, of course more defensive-minded, likes to defer and get the ball. Offensive coordinator Jason Tharp may not feel the same way, but they do opt to go defensive, which against a team that they beat last year that I'm sure they like their matchup against on paper. I don't mind that whatsoever here early.
Puts the ball in a good spot on the field as well. Cardinals had a takeaway last week. That's something their defense hasn't done a whole lot of this year. They've just been a sound defensive unit. This first run here is not going to go very far. Deion Jones.
Oh, that ball might have been lost at the snap.
All right, just give me, it's not up. Just give it a second.
Yeah.
Fumble on the snap, covered up by Eudora.
It might be back soon.
Has it been gone that whole time? Or just
Yeah.
right there?
Brings up a 3rd and 7 for the Cardinals.
Is that where we are now?
Pretty close.
All right.
Yep.
Okay, so sorry about that. Some technical difficulties. You missed a 3-and-out forced successfully by the Cardinals. And it is now 3rd and 7 here as a couple run plays have been shut down. We've also noted that Houston Carnegie is starting despite Cy Thomas being healthy today. Carnegie getting these first snaps, and Carnegie's going to look to throw here. Rolls out to the right side and off the hands of Bryce Mulvihill, and that will fall incomplete. Looks like the Bulldogs might get a 3-and-out of their own here to start. Interesting to see the Cardinals looking to pass there.
Absolutely, yeah. It doesn't shock me a whole lot. We have seen Coach Steffen not hesitant to put the ball in Houston Carnegie's hands to throw it. We know he trusts him a fair bit. But I will mention, if anyone may be concerned about the quick 3-and-out from the Cards after forcing their own against the Bulldogs, this is how last week started as well. That was a quick 3-and-out forced by the Cardinals, and then they had a 3-and-out of their own. I believe it was in the reverse order, but...
And as long as it's a solid punt here, they're still winning the field position battle.
Absolutely.
And it will be a solid punt. That thing is booted. It'll bounce at the 20 and keep on rolling. This could be potentially pinned inside the 1, but no, it will just make it into the end zone. That was a really nice punt, though, from Caden Dunback, and it will be a touchback, meaning that the Bulldogs start at the 20.
It was a really nice effort, too, from, I believe it was Jarrett Phillips to fly downfield and try to get that one pinned in bounds.
And as a former special teamer, I love to see effort on special teams.
Always.
Is always an underrated part of the game that can have huge differences. I mean, nothing faulting the Cardinals' effort there, but imagine the difference between this drive starting at the 20 and this drive starting at the 2.
Right. Yep, that effort is massive, and we can point to some more popular examples of bad special teams really being a big deal for a team, even if they're good everywhere else. Very underrated part of the game.
Yeah, and the great punt by Dunback also avoided the defense having to make a tackle, which those open field tackles have been tough. Here's a run to Jones. Jones is going to get the first down of this game and more. He's into Cardinals territory and pushed out at the 40-yard line. Deion Jones breaks free.
That's a phenomenal drive starter for the Bulldogs. Here early on when you struggled a bit on that first down, that first whole series really, to come out and immediately flip the field, they're going to have themselves on the plus side of the 50 here early, which is absolutely massive for an offense that you've got to think is thinking, we've got to put the first points of the game on the board here, put some pressure on these 4-1 Cards, try to make them sweat a little bit. And I'd say Deion Jones certainly did that there, a really impressive run.
It is a 37-yard run for the senior running back. And all of a sudden, the Cardinals no longer winning the field position battle. This is the quarterback. He was trying to find some space there. Javen Colbert eventually gets escorted backwards by a few Cardinals defenders, Colton Bowser being one of them.
And you love to see a negative play in favor of the defense after a big play like that. That's always going to be the kind of thing to put a defense kind of on the back foot briefly. So a negative play like that, a good way to get them to exhale a little bit, settle themselves back in, hopefully.
Well, that one was a small gain. It was a gain of 1.
Okay.
This makes it 2nd and 9 before his forward progress was stopped there. It was sort of an awkward ending to the play where he stayed up on his feet and was just, I use the word escort. They just kind of pushed him backwards.
Gently moved, yep.
But it was a gain of 1, so here's 2nd and 9. A give to Jones. This one might be a negative play. There you go, Hayden. Wrapped up in the backfield, Garrett Golay.
I'm really glad the defense made me look okay after that because I was not correct on that.
You just saw it coming. You just saw it coming.
Yeah, I was
Garrett Golay did
the
too.
viewers. Garrett Golay has been incredibly impressive to me as a whole on this defense this year. The entire defense has been really impressive, but this one in particular, Garrett Goulet has been all over the place as a pass rusher. He's gotten into the backfield consistently in all 5 games this year, and now we can make it 6.
That makes it 3rd down and 14, a loss of 5. Puts them back to the 48-yard line, the Cardinals' 48-yard line. Looking to throw, the lefty quarterback finds the senior receiver, Lanning. And Lanning gets maybe back to the 40. Not enough for a first down, though, so they'll have a decision to make on 4th down in Cardinals territory.
If I'm on the offensive side of play calling for the Bulldogs here, I think I would very much so be considering going for this. Just from a standpoint of aggression, although it is so early on, this is the kind of play where if you're able to get it, you can really flip momentum.
Yeah, short.
Try to give yourself a fighting chance.
Relatively short 4th down here in Cardinals territory. Makes a lot of sense to choose to go for it here. This is a big moment. Looking to throw is Colbert. Rolling to his left, throws, and he's got a man. First down, Bulldogs. Reese Reichenberger, the junior. He's listed as a running back, but he found himself in a great position there. Made a nice sliding grab, and it moves the chains on 4th down. The Bulldogs keep rolling.
I absolutely love that. Of course, you always want the Cards to make those stops. From a play calling standpoint for the Independence Bulldogs here early, I absolutely love the way they're calling and executing this whole drive. Thus far, it's been really impressive to keep this Cards defense, which has been stout all year long, kind of on the back foot for these last handful of minutes.
You know, when we've done volleyball, I always love to praise left-handers. The Cardinals have Wenger, who's a left-handed outside hitter. Left-handed quarterback, that's going to be something for the Cardinals to deal with. The ball literally spins differently out of the hands. The Bulldogs will take a timeout here, so we'll do that the same in just a second here, but the ball literally, I mean, I've heard receivers in the NFL talk about this. The ball literally is spinning the opposite direction.
Yeah.
And so even if defenders are going to try and make a play on the ball, it's going to be different, let alone the fact that everything is going to run to the left side of the field instead of the right. That's going to be something for the Cardinals to deal with today. We'll go to a timeout real quick and then come right back.
At Fort Scott Community College, we understand that a scary part of figuring out your future isn't only answering the question, what should I do, but where do I belong? Maybe you belong here, preparing for a career in healthcare as part of Fort Scott Community College's nursing program. Or maybe you belong on stage as part of the Hounds band or theater department. I don't know where you've been or where you're headed, but I know we're saving a spot for you because you belong at Fort Scott Community College.
All right, back from the timeout. Bulldogs have 2 remaining here. It is 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. Bulldogs in the red zone here. They give to Jones, who had a 37-yard run earlier, but he will get maybe 3 this time before a few Cardinals bring him down. Mulvihill among them.
And they are still moving the Bulldogs forward here, and that's one of the really crucial things about an offense if you're able to throw the ball early, which the Bulldogs haven't even prioritized the pass a lot, but when you convert a 4th down through the air, the one thing it immediately does for a defense is they're going to be caught flat-footed on the run for a couple of plays, which they are taking advantage of. And when you're this close, you know, when it's early downs, if you're just getting 3 yards, that's 3 yards that they will happily take, because it beats going backwards when you're trying to keep a defense uncomfortable.
Colbert takes the snap, and it's going to be a QB draw. And he will be wrapped up and have his forward progress stopped maybe before even picking up a yard. This is a decent drive here for the Bulldogs. Hayden, do you think that this is worrying for the Cardinals, or is this just something they can work past right away?
It doesn't shake me up a whole lot. We know coaches like to draw up, you know, sequenced plays for their first drive of the game, and this is effectively the first real drive of the game for the Bulldogs after that quick 3rd and short. So it doesn't surprise me a whole lot. Doesn't make me super uncomfortable. Because we know the Cards can rattle back quick.
A big 3rd and 7 here. Might look to pass the ball with Colbert. Colbert does want to throw. And he throws for the backside of the end zone. He has a man, but he cannot bring it in. He had a target there. I believe that was Reese Reichenberger, who made the catch on the 4th down play earlier. But he could not. He was fighting between getting to the ball, keeping his feet in the end of the end zone. That was a tough play to make, and he could not end up bringing it down. So it's 4th and 6, and another decision to make here. We don't know what the kicking capabilities are for the Bulldogs, but this is short distance. But also, you wouldn't want to pass up a chance like this to try and go for the end zone again, or at least the first down.
Well, it is looking like they're wanting to go for it again here, and they've got a lot of receivers in the set, I notice. Maybe trying to throw it again here.
High snap, Colbert brings it down, rolls to his left, throws, has a man again! It's Reichenberger, touchdown!
That was an unbelievable catch right there. He had 3 Cardinals, arms are outstretched. Colbert put that ball on Reichenberger's hands perfectly, and once again, Reichenberger kind of baseball slides his way down after catching a really tricky ball, and the Independence Bulldogs have walked into Eudora District Stadium here and put themselves up a score early midway through the first quarter.
Reese Reichenberger made the reception on the 4th down earlier and makes the reception on that 4th down as well. The junior, he's listed as a running back, but I think I'm going to scribble that out and right wide receiver as he is making plays deep in the end zone here as they go for 2, and they will be stopped. That is a big stop there for the Cards defense as that keeps it just 6-0. But the Bulldogs get first blood here. They have taken the lead over the Cardinals at home. We'll go to a break with the Cardinals getting the ball back next.
Charlie was born at LMH. We had a great team of nurses. Not only did they check in on us regularly, they always asked if we had questions, always made sure that we understood what was going on. I cannot say enough wonderful things about the labor and delivery, family birthing, and mother baby care team at LMH Health. We had to put our entire trust into their hands, and just everyone was so friendly and so supportive.
Your home for live, local sports. Varsity Sports Live delivers professional level coverage with high quality video and broadcasters that know your schools and community.
Touchdown, Tonganoxie!
With the support of local businesses, you never pay to watch Varsity Sports. Live, local, free high school sports coverage. That's Varsity Sports Live.
Grass gets it away. Moore's down the middle. And he makes the catch in the end zone. Touchdown, Trojans!
Keep up with the action at varsitysportslive.com.
All right, we are back here. The Cardinals prepared to receive it deep here. Hubler and Preston White, as always, back deep. This one will go to Hubler. Brings it in at the 8-yard line. To the 15, 20, cuts to his left. As Hubler still on his feet to the left side, finds a seam. Hubler still going to the 30 now. And then he goes out of bounds around the 32-yard line. A nice return there. Switching fields was Des Hubler. We've had a correction come in. It is Richenberger, not Reichenberger. And we should make an effort to remember the name because he made multiple great plays on that first touchdown drive. I was going to say first drive. That's what it feels like, but
yeah.
It is the second drive of the game for the Bulldogs, and now we've got the second drive of the game for the Cardinals after they 3-and-outed as well to start their game, to start the game. And Cy Thomas is in here for this second drive.
So Coach Steffen saw drive number 1, said, you know what, we will switch quarterbacks up. We know he likes both.
He will hand it off to Moody. Moody finding some space. And that was maybe a gain of 6 or 7 before he got wrapped up from behind there by Bryson Folk. Interesting to see Cy Thomas come into this one. We saw Carnegie get a chance to throw in the first drive. It wasn't a bad throw off the hands, a little bit high, trying to find Mulvihill on 3rd and 7. I don't think that this means anything for like the greater, I don't know, the full season for Carnegie. I don't think he's just been benched. I think this is just seeing what Cy Thomas has coming back from injury here.
Yep, and documented. Even last season, Coach Steffen would change quarterbacks around. He made a midseason QB change last year, too.
Here's Moody. Had a little hesitation before he went downfield, and he's got the first down. So both teams' second drives have at least one first down in them after they both 3-and-outed. Maybe the Cardinals can formulate a similar response that the Bulldogs did.
Well, you asked me in the break, you turned to me after the touchdown and said, are we concerned now? And I said, no, I don't think so. Purely, I mean, that missed 2-point conversion is pretty significant for me because if the Cardinals go downfield and score now, you go to Caden Dunback, who we know is really good kicking those PATs, and you take the lead here, likely before the end of the first quarter. So I don't stress it too bad.
Another give to Moody. This time he goes up the gut. He's got the first and more. Still on his feet. Moody down inside the 30. That is a hard kid to tackle.
And I want to give a little credit where it's due. This offensive line for the Cardinals truly parted the river of the first 2 levels of the defense there. Grayson Moody had nobody near him for the first 5 to 6 yards of that rush. these big guys up front on the offensive line, as Coach Steffen has mentioned, their offensive line has been phenomenal all season long, and it's made the very tough to tackle Grayson Moody look that much harder to bring down.
Yeah, I asked Coach Steffen about that. He said this is the best group of linemen that he's ever been around, with 6 guys up front that are all in. They sell out in the weight room. They're great communicators. They fix mistakes, and they work together and get the job done. He really was singing the praises and said that Coach Tharp has done a great job with them and that they are really fun to watch. Thomas gets the carry that time. Quarterback getting in on the run game a little bit.
And this is one of those examples early on of how this Cardinals team likes to operate. I think when they're at their best, they just run the ball and they run the ball again and they run the ball again. Before you know it, you look up and they're knocking on the door of the red zone. Just a handful of yards and a cloud of dust, as some offensive coaches would say, at a time.
Flags will come in here, likely going to be a false start. Indeed, it will, so that will make it 2nd and 12. Those procedural penalties always been a problem spot for the Cards, which it's really one of very few problem spots for this Cardinals team. They've done a lot right this season, but it has been something that keeps getting them. And I mean, it's high school ball, but you would like to get that out of there as best as possible. Does put a little bit of a damper on this decent drive, but 2nd and 12, fully something that the Cardinals can recover from. It'll be a give to Moody. Head of steam up the middle. Still going, and he's got the first down, and inside the red zone are the Cards.
Goodness, how about you just erase the deficit in one play? How about? And once again, Grayson Moody. That time a lot more pressure came into the backfield from Independence, but once he got past it, he had nothing but green grass, and he's a guy who's almost guaranteed to go forward after the first impact, just purely based on size and strength.
Just over 2 minutes to go here, still in the first quarter of our game, and it has been a very eventful first quarter. Grayson Moody again, cuts left, cuts right, and then a really solid one-on-one tackle there made by Javen Colbert. That's also their starting QB. Stonewalling Grayson Moody, but he got a good pick up there before going down. It's 2nd and 5.
It's not an easy player to bring down at all.
Not at all.
Another interesting bit. We have not seen Keelan Duncan get a carry yet, and I'm not sure he's even been in the formation yet. But I guess if Grayson Moody's doing really well on the ground, there's no reason to pivot from that yet.
Sai wants to throw, rolls to his left, throws off the hands and incomplete, looking for Mulvihill.
And I mentioned to you that having Mulvihill back could do quite a bit for this offense against, I believe it was Ottawa, the previous game he played. I think he only had 2 carries on the evening, and he had over 50 yards on those 2 carries. And both of them came a little bit later in the game when you've tried to stop Duncan and Moody all game long, and eventually you fake the handoff to one of those guys and give it to Mulvihill around the edge, and he's just got so much explosiveness that he gets around that edge and turns on the jets, and he could easily go forward for 10, 20, even more.
Well, and the Cards have run 2 passing plays. He's been the targeted receiver on both of them, so it tells you he's getting open. Motion man across, Thomas hands off to Moody. Moody makes a man miss, cuts upfield. He almost looked like he was going to be gone there for a second. A good last-ditch tackle sets up an and-goal situation for the Cards as they maybe try and score before the first quarter comes to a close.
They certainly could. And what do you think it does for the confidence of this team? Of course, I doubt that confidence was shaken a whole lot after that independent scoring drive. But what do you think it does for them if they're able to go into the beginning of the second quarter already with a lead after just one real drive of offense?
They would love to make that long walk to the other side of the field with the lead in hand. Moody gets the ball in hand, makes 2 or 3 players miss before somehow turning that into a gain despite being swarmed in the backfield.
It's so impressive to me that despite how big Grayson Moody is and how strong he is and how much we talk about him as this bruising kind of hammer of a back, he's also completely capable of making someone miss.
Houston Carnegie steps in to take over at QB. Maybe does that indicate a passing play here on 2nd and 2, or is it supposed to feint that it's going to be a passing play and he's just going to hand it off to Grayson Moody like most plays?
That's what I expect, but we also know if they drop back to play action, he's capable of it.
Left side of the defense is wide open if they try to go that way, but it will be a give to Moody to the right side, the strong side of the defense, and they will stop him just short, which will probably be our last play of the first quarter. So they will make that long walk downfield while the Bulldogs lead and it will be 3rd and goal from the 1-yard line when we are back in the second quarter. The Bulldogs lead here in Eudora 6-0.
For the best care for your pet, choose DeSoto Veterinary Clinic. Dr. Matt Fair and his team are dedicated to providing high-quality medical care with compassion and a personal touch. They treat every pet as their own, ensuring they receive the attention and respect they deserve. For routine checkups, testing, vaccinations, chiropractic and acupuncture care, or surgical services, you can trust Dr. Fair and his team at DeSoto Veterinary Clinic. Call 913-585-1115 to schedule an appointment today or visit DeSotoVetClinic.com.
Your home for live, local sports. Varsity Sports Live delivers professional level coverage with high-quality video and broadcasters that know your schools and community.
Touchdown, Tonganoxie!
With the support of local businesses, you never pay to watch varsity sports. Live, local, free high school sports coverage. That's Varsity Sports Live.
Grass gets it away. Moore's down the middle. And he makes the catch in the end zone. Touchdown, Trojans!
Keep up with the action at varsitysportslive.com.
All right, second quarter here. It is 3rd and goal from the 1-yard line here as the Cardinals try to tie this game up. Preston White out wide. Carnegie is the quarterback.
I'd probably just be keeping it simple here. The last thing you want is to have to settle for 3 after a long drive like this.
Carnegie hands it off to Moody, and he will fight for it and score. This game is tied. Grayson Moody rolls into the end zone.
Grayson Moody punched it in from 1. Back things up for the Bulldogs. Extra point pending.
Man, he's just so unbelievably good at fighting through the line there. Even when he was stopped initially, he moved to his left and just kept the legs moving, knowing that he'd eventually find a gap and he'd fire through it, and he does just that. And now the PAT attempt from Dunback goes up, and it is up and good.
So the Cardinals take the lead here 3 seconds into the second quarter. We'll send you to a quick break and take you right back.
Your home for live, local sports. Varsity Sports Live delivers.
Are you looking for a trusted partner in pet care? Look no further than Eudora Animal Hospital, proudly serving Eudora and the surrounding area since 1975. Eudora Animal Hospital offers a wide range of services, including wellness exams, surgeries, routine vaccinations, and emergency care.
I just want to thank everybody in the community for trusting us with the care of their animals, and go Dogs!
Schedule an appointment by calling 785-542-3265 or visit eudoravet.com.
All right, so 7-6, the Cardinals lead thanks to a made PAT after a missed 2-point conversion from the Bulldogs. Could be something that continues to be a storyline if the Bulldogs can manage to put together another scoring drive. They would go for 2 again. Stats show that if you go for it twice, a lot of times you'll get one of them. So we could see a normal-looking score. But right now it's 7-6, Cardinals lead, and the touchdown scorer, Grayson Moody, will kick this one off low and deep to the left side, where it's bobbled and on the ground and then finally picked up, and it will be returned to the 22. I think that was Kamari J that had to deal with that kick. It came in at a weird height, but he did end up picking it up and making a decent play out of it.
I'm really impressed that he even got back to the 20. I mean, that's the kind of play where you see the ball get bobbled and you almost wonder if it's going to create some kind of mental lapse where that ball gets popped out again or something catastrophic comes from it. But Jay, a really good job there to minimize the damage and keep the Bulldogs out of the dread zone for the start of their 3rd drive of the game here.
So we get to see this explosive Bulldogs offense again. Deion Jones had big runs. Reese Richenberger had multiple big receptions, including the 4th down touchdown. I'm excited to see what they can do here. Colbert will get the first carry. A Bulldog lost a helmet in there as it's a gain of 1.
And that's something this Cards defense has been so good at thus far, even if it doesn't look like a lot. We mentioned it early on. Not sure if the broadcast was up and running at that point, but it doesn't look flashy, but this Cards defense is able to limit you on those early downs to just a yard here, a yard there. Not a lot, which doesn't feel like a ton of progress until you get to 3rd, 4th down and you realize how far out they are still. And that's really been the playbook for the whole year for the Cards, is remain stout, don't give up any big plays, and you can keep 3rd downs manageable.
Colbert looks to his right, will throw to his right, and nearly picked. A flag comes in as it's a pass deflection by Keelan Duncan. We'll see what the flag is. It came in around the quarterback's feet, and it is against the offense. Cardinals could decline it if they wanted to make it 3rd down, but no, they will accept and make it 2nd and 21.
I mean, when you see your secondary do so well against the pass there, which is, you know, how the Bulldogs would try to climb out of that hole, you got to feel fairly confident from a defensive perspective.
And it looks to me that the Cardinals have swapped their 1 and 2 corners, which makes sense because you've got a left-handed quarterback. He's been a lot of times rolling to the left and throwing to the left. That time, though, he threw back to the right side and challenged about the side that they have Mulvihill playing as the Y cornerback, and then Keelan Duncan as the slot corner.
Well, worth noting, I believe the quarterback there, Colbert, actually had Garrett Golay screaming at him, had to get rid of that ball there early.
So here's 2nd and 21. Golay with a designed run to the left, and he gets past the first layer and then will be held up right at the 20. You know, I'm thinking it's become pretty clear that this Colbert, their QB, is a very strong player. We saw him one-on-one send Moody to the ground, but multiple times now it's just been a matter of his forward progress being stopped rather than him actually being tackled to the ground. He's a flag comes in as it looks like Cage Crable knocked the punter to the floor. I think we're about to be back up.
Okay.
All right. Apologies for those technical difficulties. I guess there's something about playing independence that just makes it impossible to make a live stream. There has been
doesn't work.
A good bit of things there in the break, as we will focus in, though, here on Preston White with the ball. Preston White cutting up and getting a 1st down for the Cards. First time that he has touched the ball today, and he moves the chains. But the chains have been doing a lot of moving. There was a 4th and 2 punt, and the punter rolled out to his right and then got the punt away last second, and Cage Crable ended up bumping into him. It was a running into the kicker penalty on 4th and 2 that led to the 1st down. And then later on, the Bulldogs got penalties of their own, backing them up to 2nd and 32. But Kamari J ran for more than 40 yards and got the 1st, as here's a give to Moody. Keelan Duncan, by the way, took the snap. And Moody, running toward the 1st down marker, gets about 7 or 8. Going back to the recap real quick. After that huge gain for the Bulldogs, they sort of stalled out. And on 4th and 1, the defense made a stand and got the turnover on downs. And that was right when we came back. That 1st and 10 play from Preston White was the first play after that turnover on downs. So the Bulldogs had a drive stall out, but then get bailed out with the penalty. Continue on. They looked pretty decent, but they then stalled out again. And now the Cardinals have got the ball here, and they are moving it well. It's 1st and 10 at the 44. This one, I'm not even sure who's got it. It's Keelan Duncan. Keelan Duncan's going to go! He is gone! Touchdown, Cards!
And that was his first carry of the night.
It might have been his first touch today, too. The entire first drive that resulted in the Cardinals' touchdown was all Moody. This time, they're spreading the love. It was Preston White, and then Keelan Duncan breaks loose for a 44-yard touchdown run. It's 13-6 Eudora.
And I was just about to mention, actually, while you were talking about the rest of that recap, that previous handoff, which was a Wildcat snap to Duncan that was handed off to Grayson Moody. We saw that last week. Grayson Moody's 3rd touchdown of the game, if I recall correctly, was a direct snap from Keelan Duncan. And that PAT from Dugback does go up and good. So that makes it 14-6 for the Cards. But that was not the first time we've seen Coach Steffen go a little deeper into his bag of tricks there and give Duncan the direct snap before handing to Moody, which caught the defense flat-footed for the next carry, where Duncan brings it home.
So with 5:41 to go, the Cardinals take an 8-point lead. We'll go to a quick break.
my gosh.
All right, well, it seems like we won't be able to get you ads until at least halftime. Apologies for these technical difficulties going on here, but we will just focus in on the game here as it is 14-6 with 5:41 to go, and the Cardinals lead. Moody kicks this one off high and deep, and this one's bobbled. It bounces forward. Do the Cardinals get it? No indication yet they had a chance at it. It hit off the hands of Gavin Etter, but it is a Bulldogs football. Man, Etter had a big chance at that one. It bounced so far forward off the hands of the returner.
I think it caught Gavin Etter off guard how quickly it bounced into his chest, but he was right in position for it, you're right.
And then even still, there were a lot of Cardinals teammates in there, but the Bulldogs get out of jail there. They could have easily seen themselves staring down the barrel of a 2-possession deficit.
This possession will start from the Bulldog 21-yard line.
And also worth mentioning, that is the second straight received kick from the Bulldogs that has bobbled off the hands and hit the ground. So maybe certainly nothing that's led to anything catastrophic yet, but it's worth noting, I think.
The previous one with Kamari J, it was actually an odd kick. It was low. It had some knuckle on it.
He almost tried to catch it like a reception.
That one was a nice high kick. Nothing weird about it. Is this a big attempt deep? Hubler in coverage. Incomplete, and the flag comes out. Hubler, I guess, got a little too handsy there, so that's going to put the Bulldogs around the 45-yard line.
I don't know if it's intentional at this level, but we certainly see it in the pro level a ton, and we can give a lot of credit to Javen Colbert's arm. Underthrown deep balls are used all the time to try to draw fouls intentionally because, one, it gives your receiver a better chance to try to get to it, but it also makes it so much tougher for the DB to get to and stop on time that it's just really, really hard to defend and stop those.
Well, let's see here. Bulldogs backing up. What is the...
Well, now the chains appear to be moving.
Yeah,
so
they're moving forward. So they do call the pass interference. Oh, yeah, sorry, not at the 45. This isn't the NFL. It's not spot of the foul. It's 15-yard penalty. So that moves them up to the 36-yard line.
Spot of the foul would have been absolutely catastrophic.
Yeah. Instead of the 46, it's the 36, where it is 1st and 10 once again. This time the handoff to Jones. And Jones gets maybe 3 or 4 there. The drive that you guys missed most of the technical difficulties, Kamari J was the lead back. And that is Deion Jones was the starting running back, did great in the first drive, on their touchdown drive rather. And he seems to be back at that starting QB, starting running back role. I don't know if maybe there was an injury or just switching up the pace, but Kamari J did a great job as a switch up of pace running back with that more than 40-yard run that he had to convert on 2nd and 32. So they've got a lot of different options in the backfield, and also Colbert, a good thrower. This one will be given to Jones, fighting as hard as he can to get forward. The Cardinals pull him back after he gets maybe 4.
Truly pulled back. I mean, he was moving forward, and you see a hand go over each shoulder pad, and his progress did quite literally stop.
Bradshaw and Brock Long.
So they say it was Bradshaw and Long who got in there on the tackle.
3rd and 3 for the Bulldogs.
So a couple of decent runs makes it 3rd and manageable at the 43-yard line. Will the Bulldogs try to run it one more time or maybe look to convert through the air? They've had some decent opportunities testing the Cardinals deep. 3rd and short here. 4 minutes to go. Running to his left is Colbert. He's going to turn downfield and try to get it himself, and it looks like he will.
Colbert with the carry.
And there they go. So it is another 1st down, which will move them, I believe, just past midfield.
Play, it's a sack. Riley Nice in the backfield. Here is 2nd and 19. Coming to this side of the field is Jones, and he will get a lot of that one back. Deion Jones regaining that role as the feature back, showing that he deserves it. The senior running back.
He's been really, really impressive to me today. Everything from his actual ability just running the ball, but mainly his ability to contort his body to keep himself in bounds or adjust to passes coming his way. He's been really, really good at that all night long, to the point where you can see it's actually been a little bit tricky for Cards defenders to adjust to him. as he's able to take angles and lean directions that most running backs they face this year haven't been able to do.
I want to apologize again for the technical difficulties. We will try and get everything addressed at halftime when there's a break in play. Right now, throwing deep to the left side. Oh, and what a play by Hubler. You can't throw a flag on that one. He just got to the ball first. He got up high and won that one-on-one matchup.
A little bit of redemption for him. And Elijah Klobes, Colton Bowser, all the guys over there on the defense in the secondary, there's nothing they love more than seeing one of their fellow DBs go up and win a one-on-one situation.
That is a fantastic play by the only sophomore cornerback. Oh no, a late flag though now. What is this going to be? It came in around midfield, around the Cardinals' defensive backfield. Not sure who it's on. It's 4th and 14, so unless it's a 15-yarder, shouldn't have too much of an implication here. Let's see what we get from the white hat. Dead ball foul, unsportsmanlike conduct on the offense.
You got to think something was said or a little bit of chatter out on the field that the refs caught wind of.
Yeah, PA says sideline warning. So whatever it is going to back them up a lot deeper. It is a 15-yard penalty, but a 15-yard penalty against Independence.
The wrong way.
So that just guarantees that they are going to punt. 4th and a cornfield, says the PA.
Purvis lines up the punt. Hubler back deep.
Purvis is the punter. It rolls to him, and he gets it out in time. Bounces at the 40, and it will come to rest. No, Hubler goes after it, picks up a couple on that one. So 42-yard lines where the Cardinals will start with 3:16 to go and 2 timeouts. Definitely a situation where they could create a late scoring drive here.
Yeah, it'd be really, really impressive if they're able to. Just over 3 minutes to go. We know they're capable of throwing the ball, but we also know, based off how explosive the run game's been, Reed, that they can absolutely score just by running the ball with 3.5 minutes to go. If that's something they want to do, they've been able to run the ball at will for a lot of this second quarter.
Yeah, that penalty is going to be big, Hayden. The Cards would be backed up near the 20-yard line, assuming that the same punt got off without that 15-yard penalty. That is a big change in field position. Here's a toss to Moody to the right side, still up Moody, 1st down and more. Moody gets 12 or 13, and he's already in 2+ territory.
Also looks to be Houston Carnegie, and again at quarterback, so a little more switching around for Coach Steffen, trying to figure out what works, figure out what gives the offense the most flexibility.
And we've also seen the sophomore Jay Noble intently involved. He's right there, always talking with whichever other quarterback is on the sideline. Cy Thomas, Houston Carnegie. So the Cards have 3 quarterbacks ready to get in there if need be. Here's the 1st and 10 at the 47. Looking to throw, Carnegie. Throws for White, who had a step on the defender. Oh, but the throw is a little too far inaccurate and falls incomplete. White was behind his corner. He had a chance there, but the throw just a little bit off. A warning shot, though, fired by Houston Carnegie and the Cardinals offense.
Yeah, you got to think the offense and defense for the Bulldogs is really just thinking run, run, run for a lot of what they expect from the Cardinals to do. So a warning shot is a phenomenal way to describe that. It's just their way of saying, hey, we've got weapons on the outside too. If you forget about it and stack the box, we're happy to go downfield and punish you for it.
They're keeping them honest. Here's the 2nd and 10. And this one again given. This time it's Mulvihill. Mulvihill has the 1st down, and he gets brought down by Jay at the 30-yard line. Good job to just keep a hold of the ball with the tackle from behind, and the Cardinals are to the 30-yard line.
I mentioned it briefly earlier, how few carries you'll see from Bryce Mulvihill, but just how effective he is on those carries. You almost wonder why you don't see him get the ball more often, just because of how good he seems to be. To which I think the easy answer would be the Cards have a lot of other really talented ball carriers.
Toss to Moody. Going to the right side, finds a seam. Moody with the 1st down. Still going around the corner. And was he pushed out there? He was pushed out.
He was. He's just taking a warning lap.
But he out there around the 11-yard line, it looks like, so the Cardinals in the red zone.
knocking on the door. He walks up to some of his lead blockers, and you got to think he's saying, thanks for the gap you gave me, because he was able to follow a very, very clear path there to his right side as blocks set up. He was just following the lanes he was given, which is exactly what you're supposed to do.
Cardinals moving very quickly here. Only a minute 40 taken off the clock. Carnegie, hands off. This is Mulvihill, and is he in? Touchdown, Cardinals!
How about that?
Mulvihill with the touchdown for Eudora.
A really nice drive there, just running the ball the entire time. And Mulvihill had a couple big carries, including one where he got into the end zone from 11 yards out. It's 20-6. And now it's going to be a bad snap. Dunback trying to make something out of it. Could he actually do it? Turning the corner, but no. The defense privy to that play there. A little bit of improvisation, trying his best is the kicker and punter, Caden Dunback. So it's just 20-6, but is still a 2-possession lead for the Cardinals. I was about to send you to a break, but I remembered I can't. So you can stay here with us as the Cardinals get ready to kick this one off before we go to halftime. We will try and address everything at halftime, so the stream will go down for a bit then, but for now we can just keep you here in the game. 2:01 to go. Is that enough time, Hayden? Bulldogs with one timeout to try and get something going?
It's certainly enough time. I mean, of course, you don't have that stoppage of 2-minute warning, but I think for this offense, we've seen them be able to throw the ball. We've seen them be able to move it pretty well on the ground. So if they're able to execute well, 2 minutes and 1 second, absolutely enough time for them to do something with. They're going to have to be fairly mistake-free, I'd say, but certainly not out of the realm of possibility that the Bulldogs could bring this one in a little bit closer coming to half. Of course, you don't expect them to take the lead, but I'd say even though you're kicking off to start the second half, if you can go in 14-20, not a bad spot to be in whatsoever, but you've got to have the good drive on offense first to make it happen. You know this Cards defense is going to be full of energy and full of effort to try to shut that down as soon as they can.
If they're going to do that, it's going to take them passing the ball well, which they have shown they can do. At least they can run decent routes, and Colbert has fired off some good throws. I expect to see them test the Cardinals deep, which has been a point of emphasis for the Cards, where they're a little bit weaker than some other areas. This kickoff goes deep to Jay, who fields it cleanly at the 10, turns back towards the middle of the field. He's going to be wrapped up at the 15 and brought down there.
Jay with the kick return for Independence. Elijah Clobes with the stop.
Elijah Clobes in on the tackle there. Made a good play.
We ask about time. We talk about what they're able to do, try to get points here before half. That's not a great way to start. I mean, we know they can still move downfield, but you want to make things, the general principle on a 2-minute drill like this is just make things easy. Do everything you can to put yourself in positions where you don't have that much stress and that much difficulty sitting on you. Of course, these are never easy drives to pull off in the first place. But the Bulldogs not doing themselves a whole lot of favors here as they're looking at a Kansas mile.
Senior Ethan Ross was also in on that last tackle. Here's a give to Dion Jones. Gets 4 or 5 there.
I think the other advantage that you can have early on in a drill like this is the defense maybe a little more privy to those longer play attempts. So you're able to maybe run the ball and move the ball well here in the first minute or so of this drive, which means if they're able to break off 1 or 2 decent runs, they can put themselves past midfield with over a minute to go.
Interesting, though, Bulldogs not operating very quickly here, at least thus far. Another run, Dion Jones, and he's going to get the first down. That'll stop the clock for the moment as the chains will move. But they're not throwing the ball as much as I would have expected. Maybe just trying to be safe in front of their own end zone. Maybe if Dion Jones can provide them with enough breathing room, then they'll feel comfortable to throw the ball.
That's
and
what
they've also got that timeout in their back pocket.
That's what I would expect. But yeah, the lack of urgency is a little bit surprising to me at this point. You'd expect to see a little more of it.
Another give to the back, and he is met hard. Blown up there. Looks like that was Braden Marks.
And that's the kind of thing that even though it doesn't seem like a ton, he didn't go backwards very far. That's big for the Cards because it stifles that momentum that the Bulldogs were trying to build. Now it's going to feel like they'd been going forward, forward, forward. Now they're going, hold on, we're standing flat-footed again.
Another give. This time it's Jay. No, it's still Jones. Jones going backwards a long way where he is wrapped up. And that one is close.
So it almost makes me wonder what they're trying to do as far as clock management goes, because as soon as Jones realized he wasn't going to be able to get a lot of progress, it almost looked as if he intentionally tried to keep himself within the boundary.
Maybe they just want to get to half.
But it seems like from the very get-go there, from the first snap, with I believe 2:01 was on the clock at first, their whole goal was just run the clock out. But that does certainly give the Cardinals an opportunity. 31 seconds left at 3rd and 15. With a timeout still in the back pocket means that the Cardinals are able to get a quick stop here. They could try to get the ball back. They wouldn't have much time left at all, but it does give you an opportunity to try to go for a long touchdown, or maybe hope Moody or Duncan is able to break off a long run before the half. It all comes down to this defensive sequence first. They got to get a stop here in order to make that happen. So here comes the 3rd and 15 attempt from Independence. Snap is taken, given to Jones again, and he's met fairly soon after the line by a handful of Cardinals,
which are all over the place, not only running and passing, their quarterback can run as well. I was just surprised to see them almost doubt themselves to some extent there. And it's going to actually end up giving 26 seconds of the ball to the Cardinals, or a little bit less when they get the punt off. And I think that is worst case scenario for the Bulldogs, because their punts, while they have worked out in the end, have been really, really close to being blocked or being more problematic.
Yeah, this is, you do not want to be punting here.
Yeah, they would have, if they were going for the kill the clock method, they came up short, and otherwise there wasn't really anything going for them on offense that they were trying to do there. So I'd say that one goes down as a failure for the Bulldogs, and we'll see if that's going to cost them or if they will get away with it, and if this score will remain our halftime score. The punter is Maddox Purvis.
From the Bulldogs, I'm certainly hoping it stays this way.
And he does get it out, and it's a good punt from the freshman. It'll bounce in front of Hubler, who will field it at the 30. Hubler makes the first man miss, trying to get to the outside. Hubler will be brought down at the 43 with 12 seconds to go.
Hubler with the punt return for Eudora.
So is there any chance for the Cardinals here with one timeout? No timeouts. The Bulldogs have no timeout.
No timeouts. And the Bulldogs will not use it. What I would expect in all sincerity is the Cardinals will probably just run this ball once.
Yeah.
And you hope it gets broken off. If not, you just hold on to the ball, go down, move it to half. 14 points at half is nothing you would be upset about.
And they get the ball next, so just don't make any mistakes.
Exactly. You just don't want to take a chance at something catastrophic happening, which in this case, I think running it's probably the safest by that methodology.
Carnegie wants to throw here, and he has Duncan wide open. Are you kidding? Duncan catches, and he's going to score. Are you kidding? Unreal.
No way. That was the last thing.
57-yard passing touchdown or receiving touchdown. Keelan Duncan in the end zone for the second time today, and both of them have been more than 40-yard plays. It's 26-6 Eudora.
That was the absolute last thing I expected to happen, and they did it with time to spare still.
Bulldogs thinking the same thing. They did not see that one coming at all.
Just unbelievable, and I could tell before that ball even let go that he was open, because the crowd lets you know as soon as Carnegie stepped back to throw.
But then he has to make that throw, which is exactly what he did.
Well, and Duncan has to make the catch, too. That's not an easy catch to make at all under the lights when it feels like you need to make it.
And it looks like the Cards are going to try and go for two here. Keep the pressure on the Bulldogs.
Why not?
It's going to be a give. No, it was a give for Leland Bradshaw. Cardinals going for the big refrigerator play, but he did not get the handle on it, ended up bobbling it Cardinals going for something a little fun there, trying to get Bradshaw in the end zone. But 26-6, that is a great score. And I said, will the Bulldogs have to pay for it? I honestly was not expecting the answer would be yes.
No.
But it absolutely is. Whatever they went for, whether they just thought that they would be able to run the ball more effectively or they were trying to kill the time, it did not work. And the 26 seconds and no timeouts was too much to get to the Cardinals. That's something you might be saying about the Chiefs, the Chiefs of old maybe at least, where you're saying that you can't give them any time. And the Cardinals made the Bulldogs pay. And it is 26-6 here before halftime. That is really impressive play calling, impressive execution, strategy. Just love it.
Well, what do you think that does for this Cards offense that has been hearing, all season long? The general assumption is they can move the ball on the ground and they can score, but they're going to be long drives.
Right, I literally just said that they're not a well-rounded team.
They're not a team you've got to worry about as far as the long last-second touchdown goes, and they immediately come out and prove us wrong. Nothing you love to see more than that, and you got to think this Cardinals offense is just buzzing over on the sideline right now.
3 seconds left. Could the Bulldogs make something crazy happen here at the end? Jay will let it bounce and field it. This is going to be the last play of the half. Jay is moving. He's got speed. Jay to the left side, and Preston White will make the play and end the half right there. So 26-6 is our score. We're going to go to a break, and the stream will go down. We're going to try and work on some of these technical difficulties. Then we'll be back with our halftime show. Thank you so much for tuning in here, and you'll be able to come right back to this stream link no matter what. We will see you in the second half.
Are you looking for a trusted partner in pet care? Look no further than Eudora Animal Hospital, area since 1975. Eudora Animal Hospital offers a wide range of services, including wellness exams, surgeries, routine vaccinations, and emergency care.
I just want to thank thank everybody in the community for trusting us with the care of their animals, and go Dogs!
Schedule an appointment by calling 785-542-3265 or visit eudoravet.com.
At Fort Scott Community College, we understand that a scary part of figuring out your future isn't only answering the question, what should I do, but where do I belong? Maybe you belong here, studying animal science or learning about farm and ranch management. Maybe you belong here as part of Hounds Hoops on the hardwood. I don't know where you've been or where you're headed, but I know we're saving a spot for you because you belong at Fort Scott Community College.
More time before you wake up in the wild.
Our natural world needs us now. Step by step, side by side, together, we can find a way to ensure that all life on Earth can thrive. To learn more about how you can help protect and conserve nature, visit nature.org.
Your home for live, local sports. Varsity Sports Live delivers professional level coverage with high-quality video and broadcasters that know your schools and community.
Touchdown, Tonganoxie!
With the support of local businesses, you never pay to watch varsity sports. Live, local, free high school sports coverage. That's Varsity Sports Live.
Grass gets it away. Moore's down the middle. And he makes the catch in the end zone. Touchdown, Trojans!
Keep up with the action at varsitysportslive.com. Live, local, free high school sports.
Charlie was born at LMH. We had a great team of nurses. Not only did they check in on us regularly, they always asked if we had questions, always made sure that we understood what was going on. I cannot say enough wonderful things about the labor and delivery, family birthing, and mother baby care team at LMH Health. We had to put our entire trust into their hands, and just everyone was so friendly and so supportive.
All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome in for halftime. Brought to us by Attic Storage of Eudora. They just had the homecoming king and queen, and the football team's own Cage Crable has been named homecoming king. Hallie Hamas took the title of homecoming queen. So that is the festivities there. Apologies we couldn't bring them to you, trying to get everything fixed. Hopefully, fingers crossed, it'll be better for the second half. It is 26-6 our score. Now I'll get into that live read of our halftime show brought to us by Attic Storage of Eudora. Attic offers climate-controlled units, RV and vehicle storage, plus clean, move-in ready spaces. As a veteran-owned, community-focused business, Attic features monitored 24/7 access with friendly on-site managers. Rent, reserve, and pay online anytime at attic-storage.com. So it was a very eventful ending to the first half there. We thought that it was going to end 20-6 after the Cardinals got a score there with a couple minutes left. And then we actually thought, well, maybe the Bulldogs could do something here. They've got a timeout. They've got a dangerous offense. But they seem to, I'm still unsure what they actually went for, if they were just trying to kill the clock, if they thought they could run the ball a little better. But they ran it every single time. I was excited to see them try and throw the ball, which obviously, if it fails, would stop the clock. And it would just extend their ability to try and get a late score. They did none of that, literally none, only ran the ball, did not work out, and then they got the punt off, 26 seconds to go, no timeouts. We think the Cardinals, or 12 seconds to go. Type of situation where NFL teams a lot of times kneel it, just accept, oh, we're going to halftime, like, let's just get out of here with the lead that we have. But the Cardinals opt to throw the ball, and the Cardinals complete their first and only pass of the day. Houston Carnegie goes 57 yards to Keelan Duncan, who has his second touchdown of over 40 yards in the game. And that ended up being our halftime score, 26-6. So an extremely exciting conclusion to the first half. Sees the Cardinals up by 20. And looking at the first half stats, there's one man whose stats jump off the stat sheet, and you'll know who it is, of course. It's Grayson Moody. He had 13 carries for 119 yards and a touchdown. That is an average of more than 9 yards per carry. Keelan Duncan touched the ball twice, in the end zone twice, with more than 100 all-purpose yards. And there's also a touchdown for Mulvihill with a couple carries for 27 yards. The Cardinals put up 199 rushing yards and 57 passing yards for a total of 256. In the first half, they were also penalized 4 times for 45 yards. But it is a solid first half. After being scored on first, they have put 26 on the board in response to the Bulldogs 6. What do you make of everything that we've seen so far, Hayden?
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. I mean, when we saw that initial touchdown from the Bulldogs, I mentioned that I wasn't necessarily nervous about it, purely because we've seen these Cardinals respond from giving up an early touchdown and just completely fire off from there multiple times already this season. And we saw more of that. Sure enough, the Cardinals, as they begun to get rolling more and more on offense, usually you see Moody get all the touchdowns. Today he's gotten the majority of the work on the offense, but he's come away with, I say, only one touchdown in 2 quarters of football is incredible. But he's got that 1 touchdown, 2 touchdowns to Duncan, 1 to Mulvihill. They just responded really, really well. Kept playing good defense. I think the penalties are going to be a real point of emphasis and something to clean up, because although I believe you said only 4 penalties, the biggest thing about those 4 penalties to me is when they occurred. They occurred in big moments where you simply cannot afford to make mistakes like that. You can't commit a penalty, you know, even though we don't want to get on to Cage Crable too bad, because of course that's a very understandable.
You're going to diss the homecoming king right now? He's gonna banish you from the
I'm gonna get
country.
I'm gonna get the unfollow on Instagram and the angry DM later in the whole thing. No, it's a really tough spot, but you know that's gonna be something Coach Steffen mentions is, you know, we got to try to limit those mistakes, especially if they're going to happen on 3rd down and on 4th down and in a lot of those big moments. As we say hi to, what did we call him earlier? Chris the Cardinal? I don't know. We'll come up with another name. But the Cards mascot out in full force here today as well. Yeah, I think they just responded really well to adversity. They're going to want to clean up some of those mistakes at inopportune moments, of course. But for the most part, I think they played just about as close to the game plan as they could have realistically wanted to through that first half. And they've successfully put themselves in a good spot going into the second half, where they look to receive the kick up by multiple touchdowns.
Yeah, it's a good note. The Cardinals begin with the ball. They could make this one, you know, they could make this a pretty sizable gap, which is just, it hasn't felt that way, and it hasn't been that way. The Cardinals scored right at the last second there to make this one look a lot wider than it has been. This Bulldogs team is dangerous, but the Cardinals have held them in check well enough. It's 26-6. We will go to a break here on our halftime show.
At Kansas Insurance, we know one size doesn't fit all. In fact, our whole mindset is based on customized policies for you and your families. We're local, and we do what we do because we care about you. Think of us as brokers for your insurance needs. Working with Kansas Insurance gets you the award-winning service and attention to detail that only an independent agency can provide. All across Kansas, we're here to help you manage and plan for all types of risk. Contact a local agent today. Kansas Insurance. Local, independent, serving you.
Everybody can make something, because I think everyone has a spark of creativity, and the reason that I have to keep making is because I don't think my life would be as fulfilling without it. If you make things yourself, that means you're not cowering in fear. You're out there taking chances. That, I think, is my way of saying I love you to the world. All right, now I want to hear why you make.
Share your own Why I Make story today. Visit whyimake.org.
I used to drive an ambulance as an EMT, and I've always tried to be a safe driver. If people knew what I know, lives could be saved. In my car, if I see a truck or bus taking a turn, I know to take my time. When big vehicles turn right, they may swing wide to make the turn. If you try to sneak in, well, it's a lesson you'd rather not learn the hard way. When trucks and buses turn, let's you and I wait. It's our roads, it's our safety.
Hey, I'm Mike Grope, here today to encourage you to connect with 811 before you dig.
And I'm Micro, and I'm here because I love to dig in the dirt.
It's true. He's also here because he's very small and not that bright.
Here, for instance, we can see Micro doing what he loves to do.
And here we can see the consequences of not doing what he should have done. Dude, why didn't you call 811?
I forgot the number.
See? Not that bright.
Number one, obviously, is safety. We definitely call 811 to find out if there are any buried lines, fiber optic, whether it be telephone or pipeline or anything. Don't take a chance. Don't think you know and say, well, I don't remember anything being put in there. Call 811 and make sure that that's identified, that there isn't something there before you make that crossing. Because in the end, we want everybody going home.
For the best care for your pet, choose DeSoto Veterinary Clinic. Dr. Matt Fair and his team are dedicated to providing high-quality medical care with compassion and a personal touch. They treat every pet as their own, ensuring they receive the attention and respect they deserve. For routine checkups, testing, vaccinations, chiropractic and acupuncture care, or surgical services, you can trust Dr. Fair and his team at DeSoto Veterinary Clinic. Call 913-585-1115 to schedule an appointment today or visit DeSotoVetClinic.com.
Are you looking for a trusted partner in pet care? Look no further than Eudora Animal Hospital, proudly serving Eudora and the surrounding area since 1975. Eudora Animal Hospital offers a wide range of services, including wellness exams, surgeries, routine vaccinations, and emergency care.
I just want to thank everybody in the community for trusting us with the care of their animals, and go Dogs!
Schedule an appointment by calling 785-542-3265 or visit eudoravet.com.
At Fort Scott Community College, we understand that a scary part of figuring out your future isn't only answering the question, what should I do, but where do I belong? Maybe you belong here, preparing for a career in healthcare as part of Fort Scott Community College's nursing program. Or maybe you belong on stage as part of the Hounds band or theater department. I don't know where you've been or where you're headed, but I know we're saving a spot for you because you belong at Fort Scott Community College.
What would happen if I had to pick up the phone, call 911 for one of my family members or one of my neighbors? What would I do if no one was on the other end to respond? What if there was no 911? So you can be a part of the solution.
Anybody can be a firefighter, male, female, younger, older.
We have school teachers. We have leaders in business.
Is me, you, anyone that wants to be. There is no typical firefighter.
All across the country, people are coming together to speed up what we can learn about health. The All of Us Research Program is calling on 1 million people to join us as we try to change the future of health. For your family, for future generations, for all of us. Visit joinallofus.org and find out how you can become 1 in a million.
Charlie was born at LMH. We had a great
All right, it is just about that time to get going here on the second half of this game. As it is 26-6 here, the Cardinals will begin with the ball. Appreciate you sticking with us through thick and thin here. Cardinals started off this game by giving up the first touchdown, going down 6-0. Then they took the lead 7-6. And they have just kept sticking on more successful drives. If you can even say it was a drive to end the half. Just one play, 57 yards, all the way to the end zone.
By that logic, it's a very quick, very long drive.
Yes. I hope to see more from the Bulldogs. Their offense seems like it has so much potential. I just love to see them try and use it more, and I'd love to see the Cardinals get tested in some of their weaker areas so they can learn. I want to see them get attacked over the top, and I want to see the quarterback continue to roll to the left and throw like what worked on their first drive. I want to see those things, but I also want to see the Cardinals win. So far, Cardinals doing well. It was 42-6 last year when the Cardinals beat the Bulldogs in Independence. Cards exactly halfway there.
Yeah, I certainly agree with you. This is the kind of team that seems to have the capability to attack a lot of the spots that we thought the Cards may have been a little bit weaker at in terms of the stuff we wanted to see them improve, and I would love to see the Bulldogs attack that a little bit more here in the second half.
Here is the kick. This one's going to come up shorter, and a diving play there. Falling on it is Lyric Langley. that was a different kicker. Instead of using their normal kicker Purvis, they went with one of their linemen, Noah Eddington, a junior. Try and maybe put it up in a shorter area where they had a chance to recover it. Lyric Langley did well to just fall on it, not try and do anything fancy. And it gives the Cardinals solid field position at the 35 to start the second half.
Yeah, it does do well for the Cards. I do like the approach, though, of course, opening up the second half down by a handful of scores. You try to mix things up a little bit, see if you can get something to fall your way, but gives the Cards really good starting position for their drive here.
Carnegie is the quarterback. He will hand this one off. Nice fake to Moody. And Moody gets to midfield. The way that Carnegie handed off that ball, he totally had his eyes on the further back, the further running back, and in the process of getting there, hands it off halfway through that motion. I don't think that half the defense knew that Moody had that ball. And it's hard to secretly get the ball to Grayson Moody when you do it every single play.
Well, it's one of those details where even if you don't know what you're looking at, your eyes see it. You kind of follow the player's eyes subconsciously, and you could see Carnegie was not looking where that ball ended up going.
Another handoff to the up back. Moody again. Gains 3 or so on that one.
Moody with the carry.
You got to love just moving forward on early drives here.
Yeah, we're already in the Bulldogs territory after 2 plays.
Yeah, I say it as if they've been moving slowly. That first carry alone was massive. But I think one of the better things it does is it just, keeps the pressure on that Bulldogs defense that is going to put a lot of emphasis on trying to get the ball back and get a score early on here in the second half. Trying to take some wind out of those sails and push the lead even bigger themselves.
And this ball's on the ground. Mulvihill's going to fall on it.
Field early on here in the third quarter, so just depends how much trust you have in the offense, and it seems here that Coach Steffen's answer is quite a bit.
So 4th and 7. Cards going for it. Mulvihill in motion. It's a toss to Moody to the left side. Gets past the first tackler, and he's got the first and more. Still going, Grayson Moody. Still on his feet. Down inside the red zone at the 15-yard line.
Man, and you could hear this whole crowd in Eudora had just kind of held their breath. And they were holding, and as soon as he got past the line, the crowd erupts, and Grayson Moody said, "Hold on, guys, I'm not done yet." Stays up on his feet for almost another 10 yards. Actually, quite Moody both in the formation. Carnegie remains in at QB for a fresh set of downs.
It's another give to Moody. Moody still going, and down inside the 5.
Moody takes it down inside the 5-yard line for the Cardinals.
Moody evidently trying to get that second touchdown of the day. Push himself forward to the same mark that Duncan has. And this could push the Cards over 30 points in the opening minutes of the second half.
First and goal here from the 3 for the Cards. Moody has been, unsurprisingly, the main way they've moved it here. I'll remind you the great fumble recovery that Mulvihill had to keep this drive going.
But looks a lot bigger now.
And it's going to be a give to Duncan, and he's got his 3rd touchdown on the day. And that's the 3rd time he's touched the ball, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh my goodness, that's unreal.
The Midas touch coming from Keelan Duncan as he is in for the 3rd time today, and it's 32-6 Eudora.
That is one of the funniest things I've heard all night because I think you're accurate.
Beyond the one where they direct snapped it to him and he handed it off, it's 3. I don't know, 3
carries.
Sure, yeah, but one was a reception. You get it. You get it. 3 plays, 3 scores.
He has touched the ball as a ball carrier.
There you go.
3 times. And the PAT from Denbach does go up and good, which means we're looking at 33-6 with just over 20 minutes left to play in total. And the Cards have truly blown the doors off of this one here early on, Reed. Can't say early on, but feels like it still. Doesn't necessarily feel like a game that's as wide open as it is at this point.
Yeah, I'm kind of disappointed for the Bulldogs, or maybe with the Bulldogs. I don't even know. It just feels like there's been such a letdown after that touchdown drive. They looked really exciting, really dangerous, and I guess we're seeing why they've still struggled this season, because just looking at how their offense operates, I think you would think, man, this has got to be a successful football team. And they do put up a lot of points most of the time. But, yeah, it's too bad that they're not able to compete with the Cardinals, because they've got one of the better offenses I think we've seen all year.
Yeah, I agree.
But they just have not been able. It's a mix of some poor defense, but also just a little bit of poor coaching. and it's put them in a tough spot. And the Cardinals are capitalizing. The Cardinals have no interest in a good football game. They want to win. And if they're the only team playing good, they are completely fine with that. And that is how it has been here. The Cardinals dominating, running away with it, 33-6 here in the third quarter.
Yeah, they're not going to complain about it at all. I certainly agree with you. It seems like these Bulldogs had such a capability to make this one close.
Squib kick this time goes on the ground. And this one will be returned past the 40-yard line. A good job by somebody who wouldn't have been expecting to get the ball. Bryson Folk, a senior, does a nice job there on that return. The Cardinals have seen the Bulldogs muff a couple of kicks and said, here, try and catch this one. And they did decent with it, and it actually gives them solid starting position at the 46-yard line.
Yeah, it does. I think we've seen 2 kickoffs here in the second half so far that have both kind of looked like they're aimed at trying to force a mistake from the receiving team. But first the Cardinals, now the Bulldogs do a good job handling it. Now we look to see if the Bulldogs can provide a quick answer and try to keep themselves competitive here.
Here's the first play, and it will be a throw to the senior receiver. And he will be brought down at the 49. That is Kellen Lanning.
Kellen Lanning on the play for Independence, tackled by Eudora's Newt Schreiner. Bulldogs pick up 4 on that play.
It may have been Schreiner's first credited tackle on the day, which of course he's been one of those defensive players who has just been all over the place this whole season. You've never really known where he was going to be position-wise, but he's made big plays both in the pass defense and as a pass rusher.
Yeah, I asked Coach Steffen about his defense this year, so we'll focus in on this play. Another throw to Lanning once again, short of the first down marker. And he said that he's loved what Coach Kelly and Coach Neese have done and building this system on defense. It allows him to play really fast. He says he knows we've got good players, and our defense has studied more film than ever before, and it's paying off. And he's sung specifically the praises of Newt Schreiner as a leader of that group at inside linebacker. He says he gets our guys where they need to be. With our communication and execution getting better each week, we're able to play man, zone, blitz, and stunt, and do all these things at a high level. Got a penalty here, dead ball against the Cards.
I believe that one's going to come back on Bradshaw. So on check and confirm.
3rd and 1, that'll move the chains. First down for the Bulldogs. Maybe a chance here for them to create a second scoring drive today.
Certainly, and it goes back to what you and I talked about in the halftime show, which was not necessarily the fact that the Cardinals were committing a lot of penalties, more so the fact that those penalties were just coming at really bad times. If there's going to be a time where you choose to never commit a foul, 3rd and 4th down would be the quick answer. And actually, that's where the majority of today's penalties have come from.
This time it'll be a handoff to Deion Jones, switching it up after a few passing plays. Only gets a couple. I think they need to keep throwing the ball more, especially the game situation lends to throwing the ball more. But I think they just need to air it out, man. Trust in Colbert, trust in the receivers. And I want to see them do it because we've known it is a weaker spot for the Cards. And so I want to see the Cards tested there so they can perform. Even if they get beat, they'll learn. And then, and I obviously hope they don't. I hope they make the plays. But I want that opportunity to come here. 2nd and 8. It's going to be another give-off. Jones running backwards. Cuts back now, and he will maybe get back to the line. I think it might have been a loss of 1. A lot of running backwards there, trying to find space. Schreiner chased him out.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's not, of course we wouldn't say we hope the Cardinals get beat deep down the field, but Coach Steffen said himself on kick returns, he said it's hard to practice those. You don't want to practice that a whole lot because it's kind of risky. I don't know if there's as much risk to a deep pass, but it's kind of hard to simulate that versus in a real game situation. If you see those balls get thrown up more often, gives your pass rush and your secondary that many more chances to adapt to it.
Here they will look to throw, rolling to his left, running backwards, chased by Bradshaw. Now comes forward, throws, and he's got Lanning, and Lanning has a seam, and Lanning is going to score. Maybe we should be coaching this team. Lanning into the end zone for a second score today for the Bulldogs. And the Cards do get beat in the air. Feels like something the Bulldogs should have been doing since minute 1 when it worked on their first drive. They are back in the end zone. It's 33-12.
And I was going to briefly mention, of course, no longer applies. There was a very slim, albeit possibility and chance, that we could have ended up with the same score we had last year. That was 42-6.
Yes, we were sort of on the way there.
No longer a possibility.
So a big passing touchdown to Lanning. Sees the Bulldogs in the end zone, and now they're going to go for 2 here, just as they did the first time around. Colbert with a little fake and then a pass, and it is a completion there, brought in by Johan Barker. So it is 33-14, the Bulldogs with life as they find the end zone once again here today. We'll go to a quick break.
Your home for live, local sports. Varsity Sports Live delivers professional level coverage with high quality video and broadcasters that know your schools and community.
Touchdown, Tonganoxie!
With the support of local businesses, you never pay to watch varsity sports. Live, local, free high school sports coverage. That's Varsity Sports Live.
Grass gets it away. Moore's down the middle. And he makes the catch in the end zone. Touchdown, Trojans.
Keep up with the action at varsitysportslive.com. Live, local, free high school sports.
At Fort Scott Community College, we understand that a scary part of figuring out your future isn't only answering the question, what should I do, but where do I belong? Maybe you belong here, preparing for a career in healthcare as part of Fort Scott Community College's nursing program. Or maybe you belong on stage as part of the Hounds band or theater department. I don't know where you've been or where you're headed, but I know we're saving a spot.
All right, so the kickoff will come here from the Bulldogs. They're going to go with the same lineman, and this time he gets it a little deeper, but it is a end-over-end kick. It gets past Moody. Duncan, he has to field this ball. Sorry, Hubler.
He's got a shot with this one.
Making people miss. Hubler gets out past the 30. That was a live ball, so he had to pick that one up. It was a bit dangerous. He was hoping to let it roll into the end zone for the touchback. In the end, gets a nice return there.
He's going to turn what looked like a really potentially subpar return into a pretty good one.
Yeah. Could have put the team in a bad spot there, but absolutely not. A solid return. So it was a 3rd down passing touchdown to the senior Lanning, and a successful 2-point conversion after that. It sees the Bulldogs up to 14 points here. Cardinals maybe would like to keep scoring. Of course would like to keep scoring, but keep the pressure on the Bulldogs here. So they've finally shown some signs of life. Question will be, will the Bulldogs learn and continue to pass the ball? Moody did not get anywhere on that one.
Yeah, they're certainly becoming a little more privy to the run and the Cardinals' offensive approach too. Is that might have been the first time today that we've really seen Moody stopped at the line of scrimmage. We've seen him met there a couple of times, but
and that's what set up the 57-yard passing touchdown to Keelan Duncan. Is they put everyone right at the line of scrimmage, and of course it makes sense. The Cardinals run it 99% of the time, but you're open up yourself to the possibility of getting beat deep if you're going to keep doing that. Here's another give to Moody, trying to find space, and the Bulldogs, really good defensive work. It's going to be 3rd down and more than 5 yards.
Yeah, you'd expect them to, I don't know what you'd expect them to do. Yeah, they could go back to Moody and go the tried and true method of pushing it on the ground, as we know they like to do, or we could see Coach Steffen put a little bit of trust in the arm of Houston Carnegie, which we know he has also done this year. Certainly not afraid to give the ball to his quarterback.
I don't know if we've seen it all year, but I'd love to see a screen. Something to the outside part of the field where there's no defenders, but it's still in the backfield, so it's a safe play.
Right.
But here's 3rd and 6. It'll be a give to Mulvihill. Mulvihill's got the 1st and more into Bulldogs territory and down at the 40. Bryce Mulvihill.
Man, who else would get the ball on one of those weird plays where you don't really know what to do? That's what he's been money at so far this season.
Flag down, though, around midfield. What's this going to be? If it's against the Cardinals, but it was at midfield, it would still be a 1st down. It is against Eudora, but let's see. Is that flag marker at the exact accurate spot? Because if so, it would still be a 1st. It would just back them up.
Right.
No, it is going to remain 3rd down.
Ooh, so it's going to be 3rd and a lot longer.
Yeah, so that run from Mulvihill negated.
Looks like they might be pushed.
Well, it looks like it's become 3rd and 5. So it's from the spot of the foul backed up 10. I feel like that should have still been a 1st, but I guess I might be mistaken. It's 3rd and 5 here for Eudora. Duncan in motion. Wanting to throw is Carnegie. Gets it out under pressure to White. He brings it in. over the head of the quarterback, Preston White, with a huge play.
Reed, I was expecting a very similar play to what we saw in that Keelan Duncan touchdown. You see Duncan in motion, Carnegie looks back that way. The Independence defense certainly thought the same thing. They put a man on Duncan that time, but it left Preston White, the lead receiver, one-on-one.
Here, we can take another look at this grab here. It comes in from Preston White. The way that he gets up there and beats the corner, really, really strong play. You can see that celebration. He knew it was a good play.
That's what they refer to as climbing the ladder as a receiver, where he just almost looks as if he's taking two separate jumps. It just goes higher and higher, and man, how incredible is Preston White with the opportunities he gets. Not a lot in this offense, but he's always so reliable with them.
Shout out Carnegie, too, for a great throw. This is Duncan, Mr. Touchdown Man. Can he do it again? I thought he might find the edge there and make it 4 touches, 4 touchdowns. But there is a late flag in here. All of a sudden, it's laundry day around here. Lots more flags out on the field.
We should refer to it that way from now on. Just we got laundry. Do our best Tom Grossi impression over here.
Penalty goes against the defense.
Penalties against Independence.
Looked like an unsportsmanlike conduct. So it'll be tacked on to the end. So the big run does count for Duncan. And the Cardinals get closer to the end zone here, trying to respond to that touchdown from the Bulldogs.
And how demoralizing could it be to this Bulldogs defense if they're able to respond from Independence's first scoring drive since the first quarter with another one of their own here, with 4 chances to do it.
And it was always going to be 4 to do it. They give it to Grayson Moody. And in he goes. It's touchdown Cardinals.
And he gets a little bit closer. He has not yet tied Keelan Duncan on the day, but he's getting a lot closer to it. So, man, what an impressive night. The Cards continue to roll here.
So it's a 70-yard drive for the Cards to respond. And we will see a PAT attempt for Dunback to try and make it an even 40. Good snap, good hold. Kick is up and true. It is 40-14. The Cardinals lead here very comfortably at home.
3:25 left.
At Fort Scott Community College, we understand that a scary part of figuring out your future isn't only answering the question, what should I do, but where do I belong? Maybe you belong here, preparing for a career in healthcare as part of Fort Scott Community College's nursing program. Or maybe you belong on stage as part of the Hounds band or theater department. I don't know where you've been or where you're headed, but I know we're saving a spot for you because you belong at Fort Scott Community College.
Okay. All right, back after the Cardinals score. This great game has been presented to you by Kansas Insurance, where they believe in taking time to issue personal care and attention to each individual client. To see how Kansas Insurance can help you protect what matters most, call 913-369-6600. They've been proudly bringing Eudora Sports Live to Cardinals fans everywhere all season long. Will be Dunback to kick off this time. It's been Moody all game long. They go to the place kicker here to send this one deep, or maybe not. We'll see what the strategy is. It was a squib kick last time from Moody. So let's see what Dunback has up his sleeve here. It is a low-driven great kick deep into the end zone and a touchback.
It's a beautiful kick. Dunback just sort of trots off. Business as usual for that one.
So that means the Bulldogs will start at the 20. I've said it enough, but I really hope we see them throw the ball more. That's what was dangerous. That's how they scored both their touchdowns. That's how they made all of their really impressive offensive plays, save from one 37-yard run that Deion Jones broke off. They've passed the ball and been dangerous, so I hope we see more of that.
Yeah, it's on one hand just going back to your strengths and what you do well, and another of And if you're able to throw the ball and get consistent points, you put yourself in a good spot to make this game look a lot more competitive.
It was a weird snap there. It wasn't supposed to be a direct snap to Jones, but that's how it played out. So he took it forward for 3 or 4 yards. Yeah, and on top of all that, I'd love to just see them do something different, because aside from that first drive and then their most recent scoring drive, so AKA aside from the 2 drives where they scored touchdowns,
yep,
they haven't thrown the ball much. There seems to be a pattern there. Throw it a little more.
Throw it a little more. You would say if it ain't broke, don't fix it, but
that's exactly what they did anyway.
Truly.
Yeah. Scored the first touchdown, and then we're like, don't like this.
Also looks to be maybe Cy Thomas in at defensive back here.
Looks like it.
Carnegie has been, I'd say, the starting QB tonight. Looks to be most of the starters still in the fold for the Cards.
Bowser is the deepest defensive back.
Still not very deep.
And it will be a throw attempt here for Colbert. He's going to wind up and throw deep over the top and over the head of the receiver Lanning, who's wanting a call against Hubler, but it was clean contact, and the referee agrees. So falls incomplete, but hey, credit where it's due. They threw the ball. I like it. And that was dangerous. Could have forced a pass interference. It was a decent play.
It was just the fact that there were 2 Cards right there wise to it, and of course, it was Bowser and Hubler, who we've actually seen a lot of this year. That's been a frequent sight. If there are 2 DBs back deep, it tends to be those 2.
They're going to go 3 wide here, showing their hand. It might be another passing play.
Certainly hope so. That'd be the best chance to get the 7 yards you need here on 3rd down.
Jones is the back, but Colbert will look to throw, rolls to his right. He's going to have to throw against his momentum here if he gets it off, but he's just going to try and run for something there. Let's see. What did he get there? Actually, he got a decent gain. See where they spot this one, around the 27. So 2 or 3 yards short. Expect to see them go for it at this point in the game.
Certainly so.
Well, maybe not. They've sent out the punter.
I would love to see him try to go for it.
Yeah, I think some of the coaching decisions we've seen might explain where they're at this season, because I think this team has a lot of potential. And decisions like when you punt, when you go for it, the type of plays you do, those can cost you. This punt will get out and bounce past Hubler. And he's going to decide not to touch that and not risk muffing that one. So the Cards will start at the 29 after a defensive stand from the defense.
At the 29-yard line, where Eudora will have it first and 10, 2:27 remaining 3rd quarter, up 40-14.
And that punt actually, I noticed that punt rolled across the ground as well off the snap, which makes me wonder if, of course it's working out fine either way, not something to focus on a ton, but it does make me wonder if that's the snap not being able to get that far, or if it's actually something that they've practiced and something they plan to do.
Hubler goes in here to get some offensive reps. We've seen him play a bit at receiver. But he went in place of Keelan Duncan, so he might be one of the up backs in the flex bone formation. Let's see. Yeah, he is going to be.
It's interesting.
The left-sided running back / tight end sort of position. And he will be the one sent in motion. It's going to be a toss to Moody.
Moody with the carry for the Cardinals.
I think I'd expect the Cardinals to wait until the 4th quarter, but if the game keeps going like this could be a great opportunity to get some different players some reps.
Yeah,
love
absolutely.
to see Jay Noble try and get something at QB, because I respect how intent he's paid attention on the sideline all season long, all game long.
He's been right
making
there.
Sure he's listening in at the play calls and getting everything straight and ready for his opportunity. I'd love to see him get it.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. He's been extremely intent. Here's Hubler.
Here is Des Hubler. He's got the 1st and more. He's got a blocker. Preston White sets a good block for him, and he's going to be brought down by his head and neck area. Will a flag come in? It will not. I don't think. And a late flag. It might go against Eudora if there was too much complaining. I don't actually think that it was a horse collar.
I think he got his hands on it before.
But it was head and neck area for sure.
It looked like it was by the shoulder pads, but I do think he was inbounds when the contact was initiated. Not sure how much that would be taken into account.
Penalty, dead ball. unsportsmanlike against the Cards, so they'll have to back it up a bit. Some of that pressure or progress undone.
So that does mean most likely one of the players or one of the coaches.
Let's take a look back here on the replay, see what that tackle looked like here. Oh, well, let's see if it...
Maybe a little after the fact there, but yeah, I
There's
do
the
believe
flag coming in.
I do believe the contact that tossed Hubler out of bounds was made inbounds, so that gets rid of a lot of the potential late hit and or horse collar because he didn't tug directly by the neck and it wasn't late per se.
Let's see, is that where that yeah.
But the fact that it comes in as unsportsmanlike makes you think that as close to the sideline as it was either one of the coaches or players on the sideline or a player on the field.
Did it just happen again?
Oh, it looks like they're gonna.
I think the Cardinals got hit with a second unsportsmanlike.
Well, looks like the ball's going to stay where it was. I think they may have just been.
So it stays first and 10, which is kind for the Cards.
Yeah,
because it could have been first and 25 or more. Here's a give to Duncan. And he'll get 6 or 7. He's still up and now brought down. Tackle made by Bryson Folk.
Duncan, the ball carrier, tackled by Folk.
I do see a couple of unfamiliar jersey numbers out there for the Cards, which you always love to see.
As long as you're winning.
Right, of course. I'm seeing 44 out there.
Yeah, which actually is not listed on our roster
Not seeing
sheet.
a number I see, which is unfortunate. I'd like to get all these players their flowers starting if we can.
Carnegie wants to throw for White, and he's got it. Another huge catch.
Build that highlight tape, Preston White. Build that highlight tape. You can tell the team just loves it for him.
A huge play from Preston White. Another big grab by him. And let's give a shout out to Carnegie as well. These throws coming in a good spot. We've said the Cardinals passing game, it's been underused or just something they haven't really needed all that much of. But they've shown something effective here today.
Absolutely.
Let's see here on the 1st and 10 play. 30 seconds to go in this third quarter.
A little bit of a strange formation set here. Duncan back a bit farther.
This is a give to 44. He's fighting for the end zone. He's going to score. Let's see if PA can give us some help on who just got that touchdown. As 44 fought hard and got into the end zone, reminding me of a use check type, like a fullback, a true fullback there.
Very much so.
Braden Marsh with the score.
That was Braden Marsh. So we're going to get all the confirmation we can for you guys here to catch a name there. Could have been the senior Braden Marks.
Yeah, they just announced over PA.
It is Braden Marks?
Apparently he is wearing 44. They switched him to an eligible running back number so he doesn't have to announce it every single play.
Love that. Okay.
That is one of the captains of this team. Braden Marks, normally number 50, and he was number 50 for the first half of this game. Got into the end zone to make it 47-14. Another touchdown drive for the Cards, and they have now outdone their scoring tally. You can see the 50 on his helmet. That's funny. They have now outdone their scoring tally from last year when they beat the Bulldogs. That is hilarious. When I played in high school, we had a player make a jersey number change like that because we wanted him to be an eligible player, but we had to do it before the game. I don't know about changing jerseys mid-game, but
it's allowed apparently.
Apparently it works. Marks into the end zone, wearing 50 on his hat and 44 on his shirt.
Love it.
Touchdown for the Cards. Let's take a look back at that huge catch by Preston White here. Hayden, I'll let you take us through it.
Yeah, we keep mentioning how he doesn't necessarily get a ton of grabs, but he always pays them off. Beautiful ball from Carnegie. As you see there in one-on-one coverage, the DB did a really good job getting a hand up to it, but Preston White once again climbs up that ladder and goes to make a play on the ball. That one I'd say is actually more impressive maybe because he was falling backwards while he was doing it.
The placement on that one was fantastic.
That was one of the most cohesive plays I've seen from the Cards all year.
White did not miss the opportunity to bring that one down. So we saw Leland Bradshaw get an attempt on a two-pointer earlier in this game, and that one didn't work out, but Marks gets a touchdown run in this game. Cardinals having fun with it out there and still putting up a good performance. It's 47-14, and folks, we're still in the third quarter.
Gotta love that. So much action in those late couple of minutes in the third quarter. You and I know have been having a blast up here in the booth for the second half in particular, although this whole night's been a lot of fun.
So I do think that as this game goes on, we'll see some new names get in for the Cards. I don't know if we'll see new jersey numbers more, but that'll make it tough for us if that keeps happening. I'll have to get the binoculars out and make sure I see the number on their helmet. But here is the first down play for the Bulldogs, and they continue to try and run the ball here. Maybe at this point sort of waving the white flag, but we've said it enough what we want to see from their offense, but they try and run it with Jones, and that will be the last play of the third quarter. We will go to a break here and then be back with the fourth.
Charlie was born at LMH. We had a great team of nurses. Not only did they check in on us regularly, they always asked if we had questions, always made sure that we understood what was going on. I cannot say enough wonderful things about the labor and delivery, family birthing, and mother baby care team at LMH Health. We had to put our entire trust into their hands, and just everyone was so friendly and so supportive.
Are you looking for a trusted partner in pet care? Look no further than Eudora Animal Hospital, proudly serving Eudora and the surrounding area since 1975. Eudora Animal Hospital offers a wide range of services, including wellness exams, surgeries, routine vaccinations, and emergency care.
I just want to thank everybody in the community for trusting us with the care of their animals, and go Dogs!
Schedule an appointment by calling 785-542-3265 or visit Eudora.
All right, so after the first down stop, second and 10 here. Another give to Jones to the right side. Jones trying to break free. Remember, he had a 37-yard carry in the first quarter. He is capable of breaking runs off, but the Cardinals defense have just shut him down. Bradshaw in on that play, and now the Cardinals are going to send out Landry Howard, a sophomore, in place of Bradshaw, number 61.
Gotta love to see all these other players getting action, and this is going to be like significant minutes for a lot of these players. We're not talking 2 or 3 minutes left here in the fourth quarter. We're talking about close to an entire quarter of play for a lot of these guys.
Try to make sure we get you the names of everyone making plays out there. Jones is going to get shut down there. That might have been Landry Howard. It was. Landry Howard gets in there.
We mentioned him, and he's immediately making impact plays over there.
Well, how about, I mean, that's coaching.
That is coaching.
Coach said, you, Landry, get in there.
Right.
Tackle immediately.
Right. Also got to love that whole next man up mentality at the high school level of a player who says, Coach, I can jump in there, and they make impact plays.
So it will be a punt here on 4th and 5.
Purvis sets up the punt.
Is it Jay Noble back deep here? It is, but it's not going to get to him. The third string QB, who also can play defensive back, was back deep to return that one, but just watches it go out around the 40.
And you almost wonder, knocking on the door of 50 points here, how much Coach Stephan is going to let these guys, a lot of which have not been on the field for a lot of the night, although it looks like mostly starters out there.
Yeah,
you wonder.
And Braden Marks is still out there as well.
You wonder if he'll opt to run the score up a little bit, or if they'll have a drive or two here and then kind of run things out to the end of the fourth. But there's a lot of time left here. I expect them to call this as if it's mid-game for the next at least 3 or 4 minutes.
So with 10:34 to go, Marks is the lead back. Mulvihill on the right, Hubler on the left goes in motion. It's going to be a toss to Marks. Marks with the head of steam, he's moving! Braden Marks, get going! Down inside the 35.
Why not? I don't know about you. I knew he'd be able to run the ball with some vision. I didn't expect him to have the acceleration he did right there.
Yeah, why hasn't he been wearing 44 all year? Let that guy run the ball.
Give that man the football. And he'll come off the field briefly Keelan Duncan signaling to the next man's name called by Stephen, saying, get in there.
Jarrett Phillips goes in along with Davis Batekey. It looked like Marks came out and was like, man, why? Let me go back out there.
Also got to love all the starters on the on the sideline who are hyping up the guys going out there, the second, third team guys.
Phillips, the lead back. The give to him. Phillips goes forward, spearing down around the 25-yard line.
Jarrett Phillips with the carry for Eudora.
Now checking into the game, Joey Mastro.
And I still wanna see Jay Noble get some time in at QB. That's the one.
I think that'll happen at some point here.
Oh,
the way this game's going.
Will.
Unless the only way it would stop is if we hit a running clock situation and the Cards don't see the ball again.
Right. So their Winton looks to come out in place of Colby Hoover, who also jumps in for the Cards on the offensive line.
This time a give to Phillips again. He fights forward. He was down. He was down. Referee saw it. Good call there. First down. Phillips extending for every yard he can get.
I love the eyesight there where you didn't even let it get exciting. You're like, don't worry.
25 down to about the 22-yard line.
I certainly did.
That run good for a Cardinal.
And now Ethan Ross will check in for Mulvihill.
I just love this. So cool for so many of these second and third teamers on this Card squad.
They're making good plays too.
They are. They're all playing well. And as we mentioned briefly last year, it's high school football, Friday Night Lights. I mean, these are memories that all of these guys are going to have to hold on to for a long time.
Hubler gets this one. Gets past the first to the next level. Hubler out inside the 10, and I think I saw a flag come in around that spot that he ran out of bounds.
Carry for the Cardinals. Flag down on the play. Hubler stopped by Mannix Purvis.
Laundry.
Langley will check in for Preston White at receiver, and there is number 6, Jay Noble, getting out there.
Penalty goes against Eudora. Holding is
flag is against the Cards for holding.
That'll back the Cardinals up a little bit. They'll have a first and long.
So it sets up still first and 10 at the 22. Noble is the QB. Receiver on the near side is Langley. It'll be a toss back to Phillips. Phillips gets past 2, still going. Phillips, a punch at the ball from the defender. They're trying to make him fumble, and he will not go down.
Unbelievable effort. Fight is the perfect word for that.
They had all eyes set on trying to knock the football loose, and he said, if you're not going to try and knock me to the ground, I'd like to get past you, please.
Well, in his running style, I mean, I was even a little bit nervous. The ball is very, you know, they say 4 points of contact when you're really wanting to be careful with the ball. He may have had 2, like sitting away from his body by enough that you can understand why the defenders were trying to punch at it a little bit, but
another sophomore,
absolutely.
Joe Miranda, gets tossed in there. Austin Jordan bows out of the game. Noble again. Takes the snap, another for Phillips. And a flag comes in as he is taken down by the first couple defenders to him. Flag came in really quickly. It's going to be maybe a face mask here. Is that what we're seeing?
seems like it could be.
It
will be.
Face mask is the call against Independence.
Half the distance to the goal, if I recall correctly.
Half the distance to the goal penalty and an automatic first down for Eudora.
So another fresh set of downs for the Cards here. Will make it first down and goal to go from the 8.
It's got to be tons of fun. Lots of sophomores out there. These are guys that are going to have been going to school together for a long time, continue to for another couple years here. This will be something they'll talk about for a long time, no question about it. And looked like there's defender jumping offside there, unless the Cardinals induced it. No, it is against the Bulldogs, so they'll get even closer. You ever thought about how technically if you get half the distance closer forever, you would never actually reach the end zone? Because it's always half of whatever's remaining. So no matter how small it is, you'd never get over the line.
Yeah.
Just a weird thing to think about.
That's how it should be.
Type of thing you talk about when it's 47-14.
We talk about being podcasty.
Yeah.
We're at that point.
A little bit.
We'll just interact. And
looks like the receiver on the other side is Kane Wiley.
We also have Landon Adler-Rooney in on the offensive line.
Here's the 1st and goal from the 2. It's going to be Noble keeping it, I believe. And he is.
He's Superman. He went Superman over that offensive line.
Noble keeps it himself and gets in the end zone. It's 53-14. Oh, we're just going to go for the PAT? I mean, I guess it's good to get reps, but let those people get out there for 2, man.
Let the boys have some fun.
Oh, and a flag comes in here before anything had even started. You can zoom in on the white hat.
Yeah, just a bit.
The white hat. White hat.
Flag's being waved off.
Pick up the flag and wave it off. So the situation remains the same, just a PAT here from the 2. And snap, hold, and kick, all good. So it is 54-14 with 6:50 to go. We'll send you to a quick break.
Bulldogs.
Are you looking for a trusted partner in pet care? Look no further than Eudora Animal Hospital, proudly serving Eudora and the surrounding area since 1975. Eudora Animal Hospital offers a wide range of services, including wellness exams, surgeries, routine vaccinations, and emergency care.
I just want to thank everybody in the community for trusting us with the care of their animals, and go Dogs!
Schedule an appointment by calling 785-542-3265 or visit eudoravet.com.
All right, so 54-14 our score. Remember when I asked you if we should be worried when the Bulldogs looked good after the first drive? You were correct when you said no. Flowers where they're due.
I don't know if you were worried either, but
I might have been a little bit. Might have been.
It certainly could have been. I mean, that's not to discredit how good the Bulldogs looked early on there.
I think if they kept passing the ball, we could be talking about a very different game.
Yes, absolutely. It's not to say they didn't look good. The Cards just responded very well.
Dunback's kick will come to this near side, and it will bounce in front of Jones, who will pick it up at the 11 and fall over immediately. Hubler there to touch him down. This is, I think, the worst starting field position the Bulldogs have had all game.
Yeah.
Hopefully Jones is all right.
I know they started in the dread zone once early on.
Jones does kind of hobble towards the sideline. That would be a really unfortunate way to lose a great player.
And it does look like he'll work his way towards the sideline, so hoping all the best there. Hope he's able to shake out whatever may have him not feeling great.
In garbage time of a game like this, you just hate to lose someone like that.
Right. And he's been so impressive today. I mean, so many of his outside carries, so dynamic.
Kumari J, though, the other running back for them, has also been great. But it looks like they've got another quarterback in there. We'll hand this one off to Kaysen Lewis. Yeah, the quarterback is also the player that's been doing the punting and kicking all day, Maddox Purvis. Only a freshman.
Trying to get a glimpse of some players out on the Cards defense who may not get a lot of reps regularly. Trying to shout out all the names if we can. I see Zeke Bartmus.
Yes.
as the first unfamiliar face.
Carry for Lewis, wrapped up by Bartmus.
Maybe if we just keep doing that, keep mentioning a player, and they'll continue to get the tackles.
Seems like it's
second time today.
Seems like it's lots of the same names actually that we're getting in on offense. Like you see,
Yes.
Jared Phillips, Joe Miranda, Landry Howard, Joey Mastro. All these people were also getting reps on offense.
I see Lyric Langley as well.
Yep.
Might be Brian De La Rosa playing cornerback over on that far side.
This will be a give again to Lewis. And Lewis works quickly towards the sideline. Chased out by De La Rosa.
Tackled by Adler Rooney.
I just love it. Can't emphasize enough how happy it makes me to see so many of these players getting significant minutes in a Friday Night Lights game on homecoming night. A lot of them players who may not necessarily have a ton of time left out on this football field. Actually, some seniors and juniors out there.
New player checking in is James Janovec.
2nd and 4 Independence.
Another running play. Up the gut they try and go, and a late flag will come in. So the Cardinals are going to
Ball carrier flag down on the play.
push their win streak to 5 games for the first time in a decade. They last won 5 in a row.
Penalty goes against Eudora, face mask.
Penalty is a face mask against the Cards D, so that will move the Bulldogs further downfield.
So it was 2015 the last time they had a 5-game win streak, huh?
Yes. They've had multiple 4-game win streaks in that time, including 2022, but 5 games have been a high bar, or is a high bar.
It is a high bar, especially in a season where you want to play 8 to 9.
And it will next week be a matchup in what we've dubbed the Battle of 212 against the Tongi Chieftains. Here's another give to Lewis, wrapped up around the 47. And those Chieftains will be coming off a big loss against the Baser Linwood Bobcats, 38-10. If they lost that one, that Bobcats team is undefeated on the year, so they are a force to be reckoned with. But they will be coming off of a loss after a 3-game win streak.
But worth mentioning that, of course, neither of these games tonight for the Chieftains or the Cards are within Frontier, so the rankings there will stay similar for the both of them.
Here's another play for the Bulldogs. Will be stopped after a couple. Last year, the Chieftains comfortably beat the Cardinals 35-14. So that'll be an interesting one next week, and the Cardinals try and push that streak, but what more important than that, maintain their lead in the Frontier League. But we can try and shift our focus back to the last 90 seconds of this game. It's just when you have a 40-point lead, it can get a little boring sometimes. Lewis going forward. But we should get you the names of these tacklers, of course, if we can, with a little bit of help from the PA, I think.
Sure.
Janovec was in on that one.
And meanwhile, as we tune over while we're...
To about the 42-yard line. Joey Mastro, the stop for the Cardinals.
They give Mastro the credit as well.
And meanwhile, while we're checking out some of the other Frontier League scores, we mentioned the Chieftains and Cardinals will both remain 4-0 and 3-1 respectively. The Spring Hill Broncos are currently beating the Paola Panthers in Paola right now by a score of 49-28, so it looks as if the Broncos will improve to 4-1 within the Frontier League.
Lewis got that one, and LAR, if we can call him that, Landon Adler-Rooney makes the play. Not to be confused with the Los Angeles Rams.
We are in Kansas. I think you're safe.
St. Louis, not that far away.
This is true.
Remember those days? Do you even actually remember those days? You might be.
St. Louis?
Yeah. I mean,
we are like 1 year apart.
I know.
Don't do that to me.
But I actually went to a St. Louis Rams game.
Oh, I never did, yeah.
Yeah.
No, that was, it feels like it wasn't that long ago in the grand scheme of things.
Kind of was.
That move was at a decade ago. Yeah, not close to it.
All right, anyway.
That'll do it.
The game is over. 54-14. A great homecoming victory for the Cardinals and King Cage Crable. It is a fun victory. They ran the ball really, really well, and they win by 40 points here at home to push the win streak to 5 straight. After dropping the season opener, they are 5-1, and still sit atop the Frontier League. Of course, that wasn't in threat tonight, but Cardinals really, really well in this game. We will go to a break. When we're back, it's the post-game show. Keep it here on Eudora Sports Live.
Are you looking for a trusted partner in pet care? Look no further than Eudora Animal Hospital, proudly serving Eudora and the surrounding area since 1975. Eudora Animal Hospital offers a wide range of services, including wellness exams, surgeries, routine vaccinations, and emergency care.
I just want to thank everybody in the community for trusting us with the care of their animals, and go Dogs!
Schedule an appointment by calling 785-542-3265 or visit eudoravet.com.
More time before you wake up in the wild.
Our natural world needs us now. Step by step, side by side, together, we can find a way to ensure that all life on Earth can thrive. To learn more about how you can help protect and conserve nature, visit nature.org.
Your home for live, local sports. Varsity Sports Live delivers professional level coverage with high-quality video and broadcasters that know your schools and community.
Touchdown, Tonganoxie!
With the support of local businesses, you never pay to watch varsity sports. Live, local, free high school sports coverage. That's Varsity Sports Live.
Grass gets it away. Moore's down the middle, and he makes the catch in the end zone. Touchdown, Trojans!
Keep up with the action at varsitysportslive.com. Live, local, free high school sports.
Charlie was born at LMH. We had a great team of nurses. Not only did they check in on us regularly, they always asked if we had questions, always made sure that we understood what was going on. I cannot say enough wonderful things about the labor and delivery, family birthing, and mother baby care team at LMH Health. We had to put our entire trust into their hands, and just everyone was so friendly and so supportive.
At Fort Scott Community College, we understand that a scary part of figuring out your future isn't only answering the question, what should I do, but where do I belong? Maybe you belong here as part of Fort Scott Community College's John Deere Tech program. Maybe you belong here as part of the perennial playoff-bound Greyhound baseball team. I don't know where you've been or where you're headed, but I know we're saving a spot for you because you belong at Fort Scott Community College.
All right, post-game show here brought to us by Eudora Animal Hospital. If I can get to my live read here. For 40 years, Eudora Animal Hospital has been caring for pets and livestock with fair pricing, trusted service, and compassionate care. Pet owners from across the region trust their four-legged friends to Eudora Animal Hospital. To learn more, visit eudoravet.com. Let me get the circle here. Cardinals do their fight song here after every game.
I am able to get the whole circle. It was big.
We'll win, boys!
All right, so another victorious day for the Cardinals. 5 straight now that they've won under Friday Night Lights. 54-14 is our final score. Really strong performances all around, of course, specifically on the ground. Hayden, what do you make of this Cardinals performance all around?
I don't think there's a whole lot you can say that's negative. Of course, we could chip away at some of the little stuff of the pre-snap penalties and the procedural stuff that still occasionally showed up, but I would be completely incorrect if I did anything but praise this performance. You know, you and I mentioned early on that actually at the start of the fourth quarter, you mentioned that if the Bulldogs stuck to the way they played on their first and second drive, if they were throwing the ball a bit more, we could have had a different game, sure. But I think this was a game that the Cardinals looked to win the entire way. As the game went on even more so, you saw the pass game start to open up, which I didn't see coming. Houston Carnegie was dropping dimes all over the field, which if I had told you that a month ago, you might have laughed at me. But they were able to throw the ball really, really well. Keelan Duncan and Grayson Moody both had massive days on the ground as per usual. But they just fought through it in a way that we've seen them do so often, so many times this season, where they give up a touchdown early, and you've got to think after 6 weeks now, the gut reaction of the Eudora faithful has got to just be to go, okay, like that's all right, because we've seen, I want to say 3 games this year where the Cardinals gave up an early score and they ended up winning that game pretty handily. That's something we know they bounce back from really, really well. Yeah. I'm impressed with the defense, the pass rush, how they were able to fly across the field. The secondary, Des Hubler in particular, had a couple of really beautiful reps playing DB. But it's just another really impressive game from the Cards that I keep waiting for something to change as far as winning these games go, and they just continue to show us that all of these wins we keep seeing are for real. This team is absolutely the truth at this point in the year.
Yeah, and Preston White looked freaking phenomenal.
Yes.
I think the Cards might have something to think about with trying to get the ball to number 5 more often, because my word.
Just on those long balls. You just give him those 50-50 balls and let him go.
Yeah. I asked Coach Steffen before this game, what's the mood like with this win streak and how do you keep it going? He said, our guys have really enjoyed the quality football we've been playing. We've had great practices, and even on the days that things are slow, it's easy to motivate this group and get them back to being focused. This is a great group to coach, so continuing to be us and enjoy the process is easy. And that's exactly what you're talking about. You're saying, well, it feels like it happens all the time to any great team, that eventually something changes, something goes wrong, or something just stops clicking, and that has not happened for this Cardinals team. Everything that has been what they can rely on continues to be reliable, continues to fire on all cylinders, and that is an amazing recipe for success. If you can continue to do the successful things well, that is just a great way to win, and that is what the Cardinals keep doing. Yeah, yep. They have done it for 5 straight games now. They will have a much stronger opponent next week against Tonganoxie. That is too close to call who is supposed to win that game. I guess you might give the edge to the Cards because they sit on top of the Frontier League, but I would tell you to not. I would just say that's going to be a good game. Anyone could win that one. The Chieftains comfortably beat the Cards last year by 3 scores.
Yep.
So that is going to be anybody's game in the Battle of 212 next week. That will be a great time. Let's see, are there any other broadcasts throughout this week, Hayden?
I do believe we have a soccer game,
yes,
if I recall correctly, on Thursday, and I believe we host DeSoto.
I've got it on Tuesday.
Okay.
Tuesday we've got a soccer game here for the Cardinals. But yeah, so we will see you on Tuesday, and then we will also see you again on Friday. We will both be back for that one. Hayden, is there anything else we should add here before we go? Maybe you could read some scores around the Frontier League. Were there any more games within the Frontier League?
We'll check on things.
Was it just the Paola Spring Hill?
I know as far as tonight, Paola Spring Hill ended pretty handily in the favor of the Broncos. I believe that was about a 25-point deficit there. We'll check on that one again here. I know the Tonganoxie Chieftains, as you mentioned, they lost to Baser Linwood. That's an outside of Frontier game.
Here, we'll send you to a break, and then we'll bring you back with some stuff from around the Frontier League, and then we'll sign off.
Perfect.
At Kansas Insurance.
Charlie was born at LMH. We had a great team of nurses. Not only did they check in on us regularly, they always asked if we had questions, always made sure that we understood what was going on. I cannot say enough wonderful things about the labor and delivery, family birthing, and mother baby care team at LMH Health. We had to put our entire trust into their hands, and just everyone was so friendly and so supportive.
Everybody can make something, because I think everyone has a spark of creativity, and the reason that I have to keep making is because I don't think my life would be as fulfilling without it. If you make things yourself, that means you're not cowering in fear. You're out there taking chances. That, I think, is my way of saying I love you to the world. All right, now I want to hear why you make.
Share your own Why I Make story today. Visit whyimake.org.
I used to drive an ambulance as an EMT, and I've always tried to be a safe driver. If people knew what I know, lives could be saved. In my car, if I see a truck or bus taking a turn, I know to take my time. When big vehicles turn right, they may swing wide to make the turn. If you try to sneak in, well, it's a lesson you'd rather not learn the hard way. When trucks and buses turn, let's you and I wait. It's our roads, it's our safety.
At Kansas Insurance, we know one size doesn't fit all. In fact, our whole mindset is based on customized policies for you and your families. We're local, and we do what we do because we care about you. Think of us as brokers for your insurance needs. Working with Kansas Insurance gets you the award-winning service and attention to detail that only an independent agency can provide. All across Kansas, we're here to help you manage and plan for all types of risk. Contact a local agent today. Kansas Insurance. Local, independent, serving you.
Are you looking for a trusted partner in pet care? Look no further than Eudora Animal Hospital, proudly serving Eudora and the surrounding area since 1975. Eudora Animal Hospital offers a wide range of services, including wellness exams, surgeries, routine vaccinations, and emergency care.
I just want to thank everybody in the community for trusting us with the care of their animals, and go Dogs!
Schedule an appointment by calling 785-542-3265 or visit eudoravet.com.
All right, back here last time on the Eudora Animal Hospital postgame show. Hayden, there were only a couple games, sounds like, between two Frontier League opponents. You want to run us through those two games?
Yes, we checked around a little bit. We had Spring Hill Broncos played at Paola tonight. That game ended in a Spring Hill Broncos victory, 56-34. So that'll push them up to 4-1 within the Frontier League and push their total record to 4-2, if I recall correctly. And then we also had Ottawa hosting the Bonner Springs Braves tonight. Ottawa won that game 39-0, the final there. So a big win for Ottawa is going to push them to 2-2 within the Frontier League.
So that the 4-1 though for Spring Hill, that puts pressure on the Cards.
It does,
because that means the Cards still sit atop at 4-0, but they can't mess up.
Only a one-game gap, so that's
all right. So
and
I
that's
guess
big
that
later
puts
in the
them
year.
The baseball way to say that would be they have a half-game lead.
Right.
And I
you
think football does that too, I guess. But
yeah, you see it more often in baseball for sure. And the one thing that does do that comes in big later in the year, oftentimes when you see these tight races throughout the year, it all kind of culminates in a game late where they play each other.
Right.
We've already seen that this year. They've already beaten the Cyclones. They've already beaten the Broncos. They've already, they play the Chieftains next week. Chieftains are also 3-1. So there's, next week's game is really, really big as far as Frontier League implications goes. But if they lose to the Chieftains, not only are you worried about falling behind to them, but the Broncos are also right there to pounce. We know this Broncos team is tried and true and has won a lot of games over the years. So it certainly keeps a lot of pressure on the Cards where they've got to be looking at their schedule going, man, if we drop one game, we could easily fall back 1 or 2 spots in the Frontier League. So I think next week is going to be really, really critical. But, man, how much fun is this? Can't complain at all about what we've been seeing these last 6 weeks.
the Cards face Tongi and then Paola. So two teams they certainly can beat, but it'll be tough for them to hold that spot. They're going to come under siege for their top spot of the Frontier League. But currently they do own the throne as they win again today for 5 straight wins, 5-1 on the year. Your Frontier League leading Cardinals with a great victory. Unless there's anything else to add, I think we've yapped sufficiently at this point. We were talking about the St. Louis Rams and how technically you can cut things in half forever. I think we should get out of here.
We have transitioned from football broadcasters to podcasters, and I think that's our cue to sign off.
I think that's a great point.
Thank you guys for watching.
Yeah. So
also, thanks to everyone for watching. We had a lot of viewers tonight.
Some great viewership today through the technical difficulties. Really appreciate that. So for the final time, I've been Reed McAvoy, Hayden Harves beside me. Thank you so much for watching. We will see you on Tuesday. Go Cardinals, and have a good weekend.
From the gridiron to the hard court, the pitch to the mat, don't miss any of the action. We're there with live, local sports coverage at VarsitySportsLive.com.